Cool. So yeah, we're doing a multi-stream today with it's me, Perseuslad, for anyone who doesn't know me, and Oblique.
Yes, so hello everybody. I talk about Perseuslad a ton on my stream. Super appreciate him as a person, and his streams are just great all around, so I'm really happy to have him over today so we can do Gunpla and just chit-chat. So what are you working on today?
I'm working on the real grade 00 quantity Trans Am colors clear version, because
Nice.
extra, why not? And
It's
what are
gonna
you working on?
It's gonna look great though. So I tried to pick something easy today. This is the Zakutu Red Comet version, which is Char's Gundam, I believe. And it's a Gundam the Origin kit, so I'm looking forward to that. Hey,
Hell yeah.
hey guys here, how's it going? And N Burrows too. N Burrows is great also. I really recommend her, Perseuslad.
Thank you for the resub, Amy. 7 months is a long time. That was very loud. That I need to turn my alerts down a little bit. So Split Spark in my chat has just said, I don't know anything about Gundam or Gunpla or anything, but I like a bit of miniatures, even though I don't know much about it. It's fun to watch. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people do, kind of say the same thing. I actually don't know anything about Gundam the series. I've not really watched any of it at all. But I like how they look. I don't know if it's the same for you, Oblique. I don't know if you've what experience you've got with the actual shows.
So I had grown up watching a tiny bit of Gundam, like the original series on Toonami, and then maybe some of Wing, but I was way too young to remember any of it. I recently restarted watching some of the episodes, and it has a pretty good opening. It's pretty strong. I would recommend it. And I know that G Gundam is like a fan favorite in the community. And regarding the person in your chat, I would say that Gundam is not really hard to get into, especially if you start with an HG kit. I think they're pretty approachable.
Definitely, especially with the new entry grade ones.
Mm-hmm.
I've yet to actually find one in the wild, but they're specifically designed to kind of get people into the hobby. Yeah, like I say, I don't really know much about the series. I've only watched Iron-Blooded Orphans and the Unicorn OVA, and a couple of episodes of Build Divers and not Build Divers, Build Fighters, and the other one, G Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
But I just buy the kits that I think look nice, and for me, it's more, that's a cool looking robot, I'm gonna build it.
Agreed. What did you think of what you saw?
IBO I really enjoyed. So that was my first kind of introduction to Gundam in general. And that was after building my first kit. So I built one of the smaller IBO high grades. And then someone was like, there's a show that goes with these, and I was like, oh, cool. And then I watched the Unicorn OVA, and I really enjoyed that because it was kind of only 8 episodes. So there wasn't really a lot to it. That it wasn't like a big time sink, and you got a complete story, and it was fun. It was a nice story. Well, no, it wasn't a nice story. It was told well. But I think Build Fighters is the thing I've actually been enjoying the most, because it's just it's about people who make Gundam, and that's me. It's great.
I think Bleep and I saw at least one episode of that, right? Because they put them in that ring, the actual kit itself, and then it kind of goes into a augmented reality or virtual reality where they fight. Yeah.
With Platsky particles or something.
Yes, and Angry Octopus says Build Fighters try is great, which I don't know if that's the same show, but I think it is. Obtuse Dino's here.
I think it's yeah. Ray's just found my new Channel Point Redemption, which I really enjoy.
What is your new one?
Approachable is it really good? Because I never painted a miniature. I like weapons and robots, just like you said. Or do you need to paint for these sets? Because from Warhammer miniatures, you need to be able to paint. So I don't paint them. A lot of people do. So there's a couple of people that I watch on here that do sort of fully paint. A kit like this. So essentially, all of the parts are molded in different color plastics. So you don't need to worry about painting the big bits in, but you can use like an ink marker just to ink in all the crevices and stuff, just to kind of make the details pop. I'm not going to be doing that on this kit because obviously this is a fancy one that's clear plastics, and I don't want to ruin it with excess ink that's not necessary. It definitely confused me. Hell yeah, right. That's the point. It's what's his name? Filthy Frank, the YouTuber. He put out a whole bunch of green screen reactions and stuff. So it's a new one of them that I've put on. And it's just a confused reaction.
Gotcha. Angry says, first OVA was Build Beginning G. Build Fighters is the first series. Try was the second one, and Divers is a different series, and there's another Divers, something else is the current one. Sounds like a lot. Sounds like there's a lot to watch out there. And Rainbow Man's here, and Beefcake is here. Welcome, welcome. And Okina Oka Gunpla too. Thanks for stopping by. Again, folks who may have missed it, we do have a multi-stream link, and also Perseuslad is streaming at the same time, and you should definitely give him a follow, because he is wonderful.
I'm just gonna shout out to Oblique again because never go follow. No. I suspect anyone who's watching is probably watching both of us.
I would hope so. I would hope they would be. All right.
Also, welcome in, Daniel. I hope you're having a good day. Hey, Innovate, how you doing? From my research, entry grade is an excellent place to start now with minimal tools required, but a great introduction to the process. Yeah, so entry grade, they're literally designed to be done with 0 tools. So they're designed to be twisted out of the sprue. So all the parts are designed to kind of twist away. So you can literally just build it with nothing, which is pretty cool. Gundam is like a super big multiverse, like many shows for a big timeline. I don't actually know. I think there are multiple different timelines, aren't there?
We'll just confirm and say sure. No, I think there are different timelines, if I'm remembering correctly.
So there's like the Universal Century timeline, and then I don't know what any other ones would be. I really don't know.
We have some watching to do.
Bruce has just said, I just follow Oblique, you seem a bit dodgy. And, I mean, Bruce.
Hi, Bruce.
why are you gonna do me like this? Oh, it's not like I cooked you lunch or anything. So offended.
Comes from a good place.
Universal Century is the main timeline, and that's got the most series based on it. Then it's the other spin-offs. Okay, so there is multiple Universal timelines then.
Gotcha.
Oh, why is it going to be complicated? Where do I find such entry-grade Gundam? It depends where in the world you're based. I can point you in the direction of some places if you're UK-based. I have no idea for literally anywhere else other than Amazon, but I don't like Amazon, so
they are out in the wild though, because Toxic Squirrel recently made the entry grade RX-78.
Yeah, I think there's like some new entry grades coming this year, but I'm not 100% sure. Germany should be close enough. So there's a place, I'm not sure how they deal with international delivery, but it's a website called Japan Cool that do bunch of Gundam stuff. They're a UK based company. I think they ship internationally though, but I'm not 100% certain.
So Angry says Barnes and Noble in America should have them, and then Okina Oka says UK Armor of God, Gundam Mad. I don't know if that sounds
Armor
familiar.
of God Gundam, yeah.
Gotcha.
Armor of God and Gundam Mad I've ordered both. I think I ordered this one from Gundam Mad. And then my perfect grade I got from Armor of God. Yeah, they're good guys. Didn't another of your common followers hail from Germany? I think there's a couple of people from Germany that drop in occasionally. There's also New Type and HLJ. Hobbylink Japan might work better for Germany than it does for us. But Hobbylink Japan's only really useful if you're ordering a bunch of stuff. And New Type HQ, I don't know how their international delivery is. Because I know a lot of Americans will pretty much solely use New Type or the other one that I can't remember the name of, the one that everyone's sponsored by. Oh man, brain goes smooth.
Well, I'm in the States and I'm not sure what you're talking about, so... I mean, there's Gundam Planet around here.
It's one of the big websites that's like, they're based out in LA, and they sponsor like a whole bunch of streamers.
USA Gundam?
USA Gundam Store. Yeah,
Thanks,
that's
chat.
the one.
Okina also says from Japan,
Yeah,
Banzai
Innovate
Hobby.
just got it in mind as well.
For Japan, Banzai Hobby, Plaza Japan, and HLJ. That sounds familiar.
Hobbylink Japan's like the Hobbylink Japan's a pretty used to be a pretty decent place for the UK as well. It's a bit more complicated now with the new import rules.
Mm-hmm.
But they basically act as like a go-between, so you can buy stuff at any of the bits that are available in Japan, and then they'll ship it all together. But it's really most useful if you're ordering a ton of stuff. If you can't find like a dedicated Gundam place, Splitted Spark, then have a look on Amazon, because quite a lot of the time they do have them there. I just personally prefer to support small or independent places rather than lining Jeff Bezos' pockets a bit more.
Shh, you're on his website.
I don't care.
No, I'm being silly.
I'm small enough that it won't be a problem.
So what part of the kit are you working on right now? I see you have like your frame done, correct?
Yeah, this is the I'm doing the second arm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really messing with my mind because it's just so small compared to what I've been working on recently. But yeah, I've got the rest of the inner frames all built. I'm hoping that I can get the inner frame finished today. I think the first bit it wants me to build after that is the leg armor.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Are you just starting this kit fresh today, or is this one that you've already been...
I am just starting it fresh today, because like I said, I wanted something kind of relatively easy that I felt like I could get through while talking to you at the same time. But I do have some other projects coming up. Cool.
How was the stickering on your master grade? Because I know that you were going to be doing a bit more of that.
Yeah, that's still a thing. I have to get that done this weekend, that way I can actually have an MG that's finished. Any recommendations for that? Because they all look the same, and the booklet is not very helpful. It's
not very helpful, is it?
No.
Yeah. A magnifying glass. Honestly. So I've got this. Let's see if I can get it out without ruining anything. I've got this fun thing that acts as like a. It's designed as a reading magnifying glass, so it's curved in such a way that you can put it down on a table and then look at it without real effort.
Interesting.
But just something to magnify the locations that they're meant to go. It's It's not easy. I especially hate master grade stickers because they have all the dry transfers, and I cannot get on with the dry decals. They break my brain.
And Daniel Gamer, thank you so much for hosting. Super appreciate that.
By the way, Perseus, you finished the PGU. Oh, hell yeah, Innovate. Perfect Grid Unleashed is a beautiful kit.
It looks great. Its sword looks dangerous. Right? That was the one?
So yeah, I built the red frame with the big sword. The Innovate was just saying they finished the Perfect Grade Unleashed, which is a beautiful kit, and I want one, but it's expensive. On a Gundam, I can't find entry grade like perfect or master level, and that doesn't seem for me. So the entry grade, they might not be in stock on every website because they're highly in demand. But each Gundam kit will have like a grade code at the start. So like this one is an RG, which stands for real grade. Entry grades will be an HG, EG. Entry doesn't start with an H. Duh. Real grade ones are a bit more complicated. So this is a real grade that I'm building now. So it's like completely separate in a frame. High grades are a bit more simple. They're more designed for. I don't know how to put it because they're not designed for beginners. Like they're
like an intermediary kit, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like they're still going to look really nice. They're still going to really look nice on the shelf, I think.
Yeah. There's a lot less complex detail to them, so a lot of people use them for customization. So you can like paint them and stuff and make them look nice. Too close to 18 to 20 hours. I think it's so good. I literally went and bought another one. Oh, hell yeah, Innovate. Hell yeah. Can you drop some photos in Discord? Because I really want to see that. You can't seem to find it. So entry grade, there is... this is the thing, Split Spark. There is only one entry grade that's being released at the moment. So it might not have its own category. It might be in like an other. But I don't know. There's another 2 entry grades that have just been announced. I think. I could be entirely wrong though. Again, I don't know anywhere near enough about Gundam for someone who streams it.
So Daniel Gamer says the best way to describe real grade is it's the child of master grade and high grade, just with an inner frame like master grade in detail, but in the size of a high grade.
Yeah. They're a bit more complicated and have a good amount more detail, but a lot of that's just in the stickers.
Something else that works too is, so Anger said there are entry grades that aren't Gundam, like the Deku and Goku, I think. But there's also really fun things like a Pokepla here. Like we have this Gengar that we made.
Love that.
And I have a Pikachu also, and it's really simple. There's only like 2 or 3 runners. The pieces are really big. You don't even need any tools to clip it or anything. And Detective Tato, thank you so much for subscribing. I super appreciate that. Folks, if you're not already following Tato, please do. He's a variety streamer, has been doing some creepy and like mystery indie games. I don't know how to cover everything that he does, but he's wonderful.
He also has one of the best voices in the world.
Absolutely. And here's the Pikachu that we did a couple weeks ago.
I really love those Pokemon model kits. They're so cool.
Its tail moves too. And I hope you're doing well, Tato. Thanks for joining us today. And he says, hello, you two.
RX-78-2 Gundam that I found, only entry grade on the website. Yeah, so the RX-78-2 is the one entry grade that's out at the moment. But I've been told by, like, I've not built it myself, but I've been told by a lot of people that it's a really good build and it's a really good way to get into Gundam. My first kit was this one. It's the high grade thing. Oh god, what's it called? I can't even remember.
I don't know, but I've seen it.
Round Green Boy. It's from My Blooded Orphans. I can't actually remember its name, but that was the first one I ever built. That was maybe 2016, maybe. I think. Hello, Ian. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day.
Shout out to Ian
if you're just
as well.
joining us, we are doing a multi tonight with Oblique. So there is the multi link, and there is a link to Oblique. So if you're not already, you should go and follow. If you are, good. You're following the better person.
Oh, stop.
So have you ever coloured stuff?
Quick change of subject there.
Yeah.
Sure.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything. I've not myself. There are a couple of people on here that do that I watch fairly regularly. So there's a chap called Joe R Inferno, who I'll push his button on my thing as well because he's great. He does like full kit bashes and recolors and everything. That didn't work. Why didn't that work? Is my Joe button broken? There we go. Okay. Oh, Bruce already done it. That's why. Duh. So he does full repaints and full customizations of kits. I just build them as they are because I'm silly and boring. Thank you for the follow, Megan Borg. I hope you're having a good day. I know that you did some paint work on your what's it called? Your real grade Evangelion kit. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I?
How did you find that?
Can I go get it? It's down. Oh no, it's over here.
Yeah, go for it. Confusion really fit that situation. Hell yeah, it did.
Okay.
I spent a good chunk of the afternoon playing with Triggerfire and trying to get things to work, trying to get new Channel Point redemptions to work.
Okay, so this is much
So I'm glad
bigger.
that people are enjoying that one.
This is much bigger than a typical HG kit, but this is the Evangelion 01, and I did some panel lining like Perseuslad was talking about. So basically, how would you describe panel lining? It's just like making sure that you get within the grooves that are in the plastic to kind of make it look more realistic.
Yeah, so you're just putting ink in like the crevices so that it looks like there's dirt in there and it's kind of looks a bit more realistic.
Yes. Yeah. It was fun. It wasn't perfect, but I definitely love it. It's probably my favorite project. So I have a couple questions for Perseuslad, and the chat does too. So Daniel Gamer was asking, how did you and Perseus meet? Yeah. I started streaming Gunpla in November of last year, and my first stream, I think that's where you followed me. My first build stream when I was working on the RX-78.
Yeah, possibly.
It was the first time I ever tried a kit. It was difficult, but completely satisfying, and ever since then, I don't know. How would you describe it?
Well, I think that I was just kind of I went through this phase of going through Twitch and finding anybody that was building Gundam and watching, and if they had kind of like, if they were chill, just kind of hanging out, because obviously last year's been a bit insane, and the UK went into lockdown before Christmas and came back out of lockdown and went back into lockdown again, so there was like a bit more free time than normal, so I got to hang around with a lot more people. Then I came across your stream and I was like, oh, this is just hella chill, and it was just so much nicer than a lot of other people's kind of how they were streaming. I've just put that in the wrong side. What?
And welcome, Yowza.
Oh no.
Hope you're doing well.
Oh. Graham dumb. Graham not concentrating. Yeah, and then I think that I just kind of started hanging out in your streams, and chatting on Discord occasionally.
Yeah, because I think you gave me that follow, and then after that, I started watching your stuff and hanging out with you there. And then we were in other people's streams too, like Cloudy's or Jar Inferno, so we would frequently see each other again and again. And yeah, I don't know. It's just Perseuslad streams are wonderful because they're very calming and just a nice time to reset. Like if you've had a bad day at work, you could just go to his stream and just breathe and feel like everything is okay. And that's what I always appreciated.
You're being too nice.
No.
Stop being so nice. Innovates just said Oblique Stream more chill than Neon. Understandable.
Neon is very chaotic, but I love it. I love it. And that's the thing too, is like something that's really surprising to me when it comes to the Gunpla community is how everybody's doing the same thing, right? Like we're all building kits, but everybody has such a different approach. Everybody has a different atmosphere that they set up, or ways that they go about a kit, and that's a lot of fun. I feel like this broke and maybe I'm missing something. Never mind. Don't listen to me. Don't listen.
So lasagna just got redeemed, and Splitted Sparks just said, "Oh my god, that lasagna is the only thing I will use from now on." The lasagna is great, and yep, it's a long story. That broke me.
So
that was a lot. Yeah, you say about Neon stream being chaotic, and honestly, when I first started watching Neon, his streams were similar vibe to what both of us do now, like very kind of laid back, chill, just kind of building, having a chat and music, and it was a very relaxed atmosphere. But then over time, he's just become the chaos Gundam person, and I am 100% here for it. I don't know how it happened, but like I'm all for it.
Agreed.
Bruce has just done a cube time. What cube do you want, Bruce? And Jay's just said he's drawn back in to say that the Gundam community is amazing. I agree. Everyone's so like supportive and wholesome. It's just great.
So do you mind if I ask you a couple questions while you're working on your cube?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so what has been your favorite kit / project? Like, what do you look back on and say, yeah, that was a good one?
Ooh. That's a tough question. Probably the Real Grade Mark II Titans. So
that was the really dark blue one with the golden stickers, right?
Yeah. And it is entirely because of those golden stickers. Because they look so cool. It's either going to be that one or the Master Grade Extreme Unicorn. But that's just because it was a lot of money, and I feel bad not saying that it's my favorite kit because I spent just too much money on it. How about you? What's your favorite one that you've built?
Like I said, I'm still really new, so that Evangelion is probably still very much my favorite, but looking back on it, there's a lot of things that I would change. So I have the Eva 00 and 02 that I want to do like a full paint of, and I finally got 3 Leos to mod in different ways. I can't remember if I told you about that project or not.
I think you've mentioned it. I think you sent the photo, the picture that you were working off. Yeah.
Yeah, so I made some sketches of what I want to try. Oh, go ahead.
So yeah, I was saying, for anyone who doesn't know, the reason I'm doing Rubik's Cube is because Bruce hates me. Basically, I used to do Rubik's Cubes a lot, and then I didn't for a long time. And I thought it'd be a fun idea to have it as a channel point redemption to try and get me back up to speed with them, to kind of get me used to doing them again. So if anybody wants to waste channel points on getting me to do a cube, then you can.
Says he's bad, but it's like lightning pace.
Innovate says that he'd like to think that he helped to instigate the chaotic streams for Neon. I'm guessing. I think we all did. I think it was that. I think it was his apron stream that started it all. Everything kind of went off the wall from there.
So here are my ideas in terms of different ways to modify the same kit. So I want to make like a shiny version where I spray paint it gold, and then the middle one is supposed to be like a guardian from Breath of the Wild. So I want to try scribing for the first time, which will be interesting. And then the last one is supposed to be like one that was abandoned a long time ago and mossed over and rusty. So that'll be a lot of painting.
It's like a way of testing out a bunch of new techniques and stuff.
Yes, definitely. Yep. And Brigadier Bacon had a great suggestion to try the scribing one first, and if that doesn't work, change it into the mossy abandoned one, which is smart.
Yeah. So then it's not a mistake, it's an artistic choice.
Mm-hmm.
I really hate kits that do this. This has got like a whole bunch of... So it's got 2 F runners, 2 E runners, 2 D runners. But it doesn't label them like D1 and D2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of a guessing game as to which one I've already cut parts off.
It doesn't help they're translucent either, so you're like really searching for the pieces. So Daniel Gamer asks, is there any suggestions for any Gundam kit that is black or gray with purple and red?
No. I know a black one, the Exia Dark Matter, that's red and black.
I would have to research.
I don't know any. Somebody's saying stuff. Are all Gunpla Gundam this size, or how is that? So there's 3 main scales, 3 main sizes. The real grades and high grades are both 1 to 144 scale. So that is this size. So kind of almost hand size. Then you've got master grades, which are 1/100 scale, which are this size. I'm trying to get them all to fit in the frame. So a little bit bigger. And then you get perfect grades, which are this size, 1/60th scale. So they're big chungus boys. So perfect grades are the biggest kind of general grade. They are the most complicated. But totally worth it if you ask me. I've just dropped something on the floor, so I'll be back in a second.
Okay. Well, Two Steina says Death Scythe would be black, gray, and green. HG is coming out soon.
What?
I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Is it Kimias? K-I-M-I-A-I-S? Vidar IBO kit? It's purple. I've not heard of that.
I think I might have broken this.
Uh-oh.
No. It landed right on the tip of the scabbard.
Oh.
So the scabbard fell out of its holder.
Gotcha.
Isn't great. Oh shit. Uh-oh.
No.
Okay, I'm just dropping everything now. It's fine. We're good. We're all good. I don't even remember how this was attached. I'm missing things in chat. Let's scroll back up. The scale size also depends on the actual size of the mecha. Wing kits or F90 series kits are smaller than, say, the original UC. Yeah. So there are some high grade kits that are bigger than the perfect grades. So one that immediately jumps to mind is the high grade Neo Zeon, which is literally smaller than a child. Smaller, bigger than a child. Wow, brain go burr. And the high grade Psycho Gundam, that's bigger than most perfect grades, but they're still high grades because then this, I don't know, I think it's the scale rather than the size.
And Anger says Psycho Gundam though.
Psycho Gundam, I really want to build one. Are you gonna stay back up there? Oh no, okay, you can lie down. That's fine. Just fine. You're fine. A lot of my kits don't like standing up anymore. This is the problem with some of the older kits is they use a lot of the rubberized internal joints, and then after a while they get quite loose.
Gotcha.
So I've got a bunch of the older IBO kits that just don't like working anymore. And to build the beginner stuff and some better stuff, I only need the cutter to cut out the pieces if I don't want to paint. Yeah. So the only thing you 100% need is like a simple pair of like hobby nippers, and I would suggest something to sand it down with. So like either a sanding sponge or like even a nail file will do the job.
You know, it's important to pay attention to the numbers in your booklet too, in terms of which order to do the steps. Something I ignore a lot.
I think I've only just started ignoring that. When I was building the perfect grade, I built like the sword before I was meant to build it because I was like just too excited to build the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put you away now.
Are there any projects that you're really looking forward to?
That's kind of like I've got the real grade new Gundam in my backlog, and I've been looking forward to building that for a while because it's different from most other real grades. It's like the first of a new generation of real grades that are built different. Mm-hmm. So it's not that I'm interested to see how different it is, more so than excited to build it, if that makes like any logical sense.
I think I see what you're saying.
I don't know if it does. Wants to do one of them. Other than that, this kit, like this kit's been sitting in my backlog for a couple months now, and ever since it was like I first saw it, which I think this was one of the ones that Cloudy showed me. I've wanted to build this kit like since I first got shown it, because I love clear kits. I really enjoy how they look. I think they look beautiful. Mm-hmm. And they're just, I don't know, they just look so cool. How about you? Is it the Leos? Is that kind of one of the things you're most excited for at the moment, or is it?
Yeah, I think so. Just because, you know, everything is going to be so experimental, and I feel like it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, and it's just going to be a way to try out different skills. So that'll be good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to learn how to scribe. I think that's like the skill that I regret not learning up to this point the most.
There's still time to learn.
But I'm very lazy.
That is an issue. I have the same issue. Let's see.
It's just so much easier to do what you know and not learn. What will get me to learn from Ray? I don't know. It's some motivation, I guess. No, I need to actually like get the scribing tools and stuff because they look a bit complicated. Would a gift sub Ray? Ray. No, Ray. Behave. Ray is like bringer of chaos, and I really appreciate him, but like, no.
Oh man, sorry.
Thank you for the gift sub, Ray. 2 Splitted Spark. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the bits, both Jay and Splitted Spark. Again, I really appreciate it.
These 2 parts get me every time. Oh dear.
Get on the DSPI kit. I don't know what that is. You forgot that bit of noise. Do you not like my bit notification, Bruce? I think my bit notification is wonderful.
If you're not awake now, you definitely
You
won't
don't
be.
like it? That's a shame. Oh man. I was literally talking to Bruce this morning about wanting to change my the sound for my bits because it's a bit much, but I don't know. I kind of like it now.
It's got its own flavor.
Now that
to
I know it annoys. Yeah, now I know that it annoys Bruce as well. It's extra incentive to keep it.
It's just a bonus for you.
Yeah. And that bit goes on like that.
Apologize, I've just been confusing myself with this part, so I'm like, I'm stuck. Let's see.
It's the confusing yourself with parts is just the best.
Isn't it?
I'm so sorry that it's really loud, guys. I genuinely don't think I can fix that.
This is life now.
See, I've got my alert box set to like minus 25 decibels, and it's still just unbelievably loud. See if I can fix it on the fly.
So, folks in my chat are asking about the 30-minute mission kits. Have you ever done one of those?
I haven't, but they look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked the idea of having a kit that's designed to be customized. But like I've never managed to get hold of one.
Something I'd also like to try in the future.
Oh, oops. I've pressed a button I didn't mean to press. Oops.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Okay. Save that. And then, okay, that should be quieter now, hopefully. Hopefully it is quieter now.
Oh no.
And that.
Innervate hopped over here because your notifications were too loud.
I'm sorry.
Too much chaos for Innervate.
Okay, it's a bit quieter now. That's a bit better. Cool. Sorry about that. I'm genuinely, I've got it turned down as quiet as OBS would let me. I've had to go in and turn it down from the Streamlabs end, so it's a bit quieter now. Sorry about that, everyone. That was a bit. At least there was the the non oh yeahs going on in yours. There was a lot of oh yeahing. But yeah, 30-minute mission kits. I think they're a great idea. I think that they fill like a definite like necessary part of the market. Because having something where you can buy all the parts and customize a kit yourself without like minimal effort, without having to buy like 6 different kits just to be like, I want the legs from this kit. It's definitely like a good idea. Have you picked any of them up or had any experience with them?
Not yet, but I would like to. And Rainbow Man, thank you so much for the gifted sub. You didn't have to. I super appreciate it though. To Pod, who's excellent. He's always here, super supportive. And I like also how the 30-minute mission kits, you know, they don't necessarily need to turn into a Gundam either. Like I've seen one that was modded to look like a dinosaur, and it was fantastic. It was a T-Rex.
Split Spark, thank you for all of the bits. I really appreciate it.
Is it quieter over there now?
It is quieter over here now, yeah. So the one downside to OBS over Streamlabs OBS is that you can't like just change the volume of one source from OBS. But I can change them from the back end. So I think I've got them all down to an appropriate volume now. It doesn't happen very often. Like bits don't usually get used in my channel, so it's never really been a problem. But it's a nice problem to have.
So Innervate says, so Bandai came out with something called Girl Gun Lady and tried to market these model guns, but I don't know who the target market is. Is it just like bedazzled guns? I have to look it up. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm struggling with the same piece over here. I'm not doing too well.
Why did I just type that?
I don't know. You typed it in my chat.
Did I?
Yeah.
Good times.
Girl Gun Lady.
I was trying to Google it.
It was a TV program?
Oh, so they're like...
Wait a minute.
They're like Gundam, but human. That's weird.
I see some guns. You see?
Big Brian moment. Yeah, definitely a big Brian moment right there. Okay.
Definitely interesting.
So we have both arms done now.
Oh my goodness, Sonamad, thank you so much for the cheer! Super appreciate that. Even though I'm struggling with this piece, and I'm gonna skip it for now, because I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing. No, I can't leave it alone. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Like, I love these, like the hosiery stuff. The tubes, but they always confuse me.
Yeah, they look sick. They look really... Are they made of that kind of rubberized material?
No, it's just like a softer runner. It's not really too different.
Okay.
Which is pretty nice, because they're not going to be too sensitive.
Yeah. Because I know that... I think it was the real grade Charzaku 2 that had like the skirt in polycap type material. And I was like, that seems really weird. Why can you not use lasagna? What kind of tomfoolery is this? There's a cooldown on it. Because people discovered what happens when I don't have cooldowns on my
That was excellent.
on my things.
There's a clip
That
of
was
it. There was a clip of it in
certainly-
Perseus's Discord.
That was certainly a stream.
It was wonderful.
I cried multiple times.
They were tears of joy,
They were tears of joy.
which is good.
Basically all of my video things got spammed a lot whilst I was already feeling very emotional because people were being nice, and I don't know how to handle people being nice. And it just broke me. C8,
Also,
C5, and
Itchy's-
C9.
Itchy's here and says hi.
Oh man.
Hope you're doing well, Itchy. And folks, if you're not following Itchy, please give him a follow.
Hey, Itchy, how you doing? Hope you're keeping well.
Great art
He
streamer.
wants to use lasagna now. Well, I can override it. I can lasagna for you. There we go.
Who's requesting the lasagna?
Splitted Spark.
Ah.
That one is also very loud, and I need to turn that down. But that's a different website I need to go to turn that down. Oh man. Oh, Bruce with the posture check. Thank you very much. And a hydrate.
How's the Gunpla so far? Perseus, how's the Gunpla so far? I'm stuck, so it's been a bit of a struggle. We got torso mostly done.
I'm on a foot, and I'm really struggling to find the pieces that I need because
Uh-oh.
it's really hard to read the numbers on the clear plastic.
David
But other than that,
David is here with a general health check for a stretch, posture check, and hydrate.
David just like looks after everyone.
He does. It's
David's,
wonderful.
David's just like the wholesome being that comes in and makes sure everyone's doing well. Hey, Edgy. You guys got this, I believe. Oh, thanks. It's really difficult to remember that both my cameras are on at the same time.
Gotcha.
So I keep trying to do things that are like in view of my top-down cam, but then they're not in view of the other camera. So I'm just like, man,
Sorry to throw you all off.
brain goes smooth.
It's just tough with the booklet sometimes because it makes it so easy. Like, I'm not sure where these are supposed to be resting in here. It's just like, yeah, just put them in there. And I'm like, ah.
I've had that a few times and just ended up going to YouTube and watching a video of somebody else building it and seeing what they did, because I don't trust my brain when it comes to making decisions on that kind of thing. David with the stretch, thank you very much.
So what kind of things have you been watching, whether it be like YouTube or television?
Some kind of weird things on YouTube. I've been watching this dude called I think it's like Acai24 or something. He does Guitar Hero streams. Been watching a lot of him. Then I've been watching the obviously just before we started, I was watching the new Star Wars TV show, The Bad Batch, the new animated thing from Disney Plus. I'm really enjoying that. And I watched the Falcon and Winter Soldier when that was going on. It's yeah, some good stuff coming out at the moment. How about yourself?
I've been binge watched this show that apparently was on Cartoon Network starting in 2016. It was called Infinity Train.
I've not heard of that.
It is very good, but now it's over, which makes me very sad. It had 4 seasons, and I think it was supposed to have 8. And I'm not really sure what happened in terms of production, but it stopped. It was very good.
Oh. I don't have a link to his YouTube or Twitch, but Loopy, I think you would probably have a link more readily accessible than me. So Loopy, can you put a link to the Guitar Hero man in chat? Because
I'd love to see that
he's
as well.
good. Yeah, he does some. He's just incredibly good, and he does like torturous music that's ridiculously hard, and just manages it. It's great. Netflix, YouTube, Twitch, Hulu, Disney Plus. So many subscriptions. You can pretty much watch anything, especially with VPN. Yeah. The only things I actually watch on TV now are things like so I watch a lot of I don't know if you'd call them crime drama, or if there's like a different subgenre, but I watch NCIS fairly religiously.
Gotcha.
So whenever that's on the air, like I watch that like either the day it comes out or the day after it comes out. Obviously, it airs a lot later in the UK than it does in the US. So we get things like 6 months later. There's also do you know Taskmaster? I believe.
Yes, I love Taskmaster.
So there's a season of that happening at the moment, and I absolutely adore Taskmaster. It's really one of the few TV shows that I will watch every episode of, like, forever.
Yes, I mean, whoever they bring on there is always amazing, but I think what makes the show really great is it's comedians that are only harming themselves. They're not harmful pranks or challenges to anybody else. So they kind of get to set the pace in terms of how silly they might want to go, or, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the season that's happening at the moment is just glorious.
And that's something we're probably
in before
behind on.
Perseus hits us with he watches EastEnders. I do not watch EastEnders anyway. That is that's not my cup of tea.
So in terms of Infinity Train, we do have some people in chat that are saying it's interesting, but season 4 of it was kind of disappointing. I disagree. I liked season 4 a lot. So the premise for Infinity Train is, especially with the first season, there's a girl that is having some family issues, and she decides to run away from home. And when she runs away from home, she finds that there's this train with these doors open that just kind of sucks her in and takes her kind of to a whole different world. And I think I'll stop there in terms of a description. It's very interesting.
It's an interesting premise. That piece went. I have no idea where it went. It just went. Well, I have to see if I can find it. There's the one thing I don't like about clear kits. If you drop a piece on the floor.
Good luck.
I found it.
Yay.
Oh, David coming in with the badly timed health check as well. Let me just get back up onto my seat. Oh, man. And a stretch and a hydrate and a posture check.
Have you ever had a kit give you a choice of a sticker? This is giving me 2 choices of sticker.
Yeah, I think they do that with the eyes quite a lot.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
I always get really concerned that I've made the wrong choice. I don't know what you're implying there, Ian. I just dropped it again. Good. Oh man. It's really not being able to use one of your fingers properly is just, it's not.
I'm still sorry that happened to you. It stinks.
It's not great. Yeah, wow. It'll get better. What, Bruce? Why you gotta call me out for my drops? Stop it. I think that's us up to date. Wow.
Wait a minute.
I am an idiot. Yeah, you're right. Oh. That landed on my leg. At least I know where it landed this time. Yeah, going from working on the perfect grade to working on this has been a bit... It's made me kind of realize quite how small the parts are for this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just... It's so much more fiddly.
Okay. So Angry says that SD kits have a lot of eye options as well. I did not know that. And some of them have extra back pieces so you could swap them out. Daniel Gamer's asking what next Gunpla kit as channel point. So if you choose that channel point redemption, you would make the choice for me. So have at it.
Oh. Dropping everything again. Just get better and don't drop parts. I mean, I wish it was that simple. My hands don't work very well at the best of times.
So I know we've talked a little bit... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Also, just to highlight that I literally dropped part as I was saying it. So, doing it well.
I was going to say, I know we've talked a little bit about podcasts. What have you been listening to, or what are some of your top recommendations?
Very, very on brand right now, but the Taskmaster podcast is really, really good.
I didn't know they had one.
Yeah, it's hosted by Ed Gamble, who was season 9 or season 10 winner. Spoilers. That was like 2 years ago though. Yeah, so they do a weekly show breakdown. So the day after the newest episode, they'll do an episode breaking down all of the tasks with a guest. And quite often they'll guests that are previous Taskmaster contestants, or in this case, like they've had all of the cast for the current season on as guests, which is really cool. So just hearing them talk about the behind the scenes from the tasks, whilst talking about like how the points were attributed and who they think should have got points for things. Like, it's really quite fun.
That's really neat.
Other than that, like, so most people who know me will know that I'm a big fan of Rooster Teeth. I mean, I'm wearing an RTX t-shirt and I've got a Rooster Teeth hoodie behind me. So I listen to a lot of their podcasts. So they do a whole bunch of, like, they do a conspiracy theory based podcast called Red Web, which is really cool, and they do a podcast about airplane disasters, which is super cool.
That is really
it's called
neat.
Black Bucks Down, and it's super dope. I wasn't interested in any of these subjects beforehand, and now I listen to them talk about them. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like, it's dope.
Well, that's a great way to explore and learn, about new interests.
Yeah.
I just got a raid.
How about yourself?
Sorry, I just got a raid
You got a
from
raid?
Raven Squaw, which is wonderful. Raven Squaw, I
nice.
hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for the raid and the love. So my name is Oblique, and I'm here with the wonderful Perseuslad. If you're not already following Perseuslad, please do. We also have a multi-stream link right below. Oh, thank you. Yes, so Perseus, did you get to see my bow tie? It's got little dinosaurs on it.
I did see your
today.
bow tie. It's super cool.
Thank you. So yeah, we're just building separate kits. He's doing one that's much more complicated than mine, and I'm struggling today, so it's It's not ideal, but that's okay.
I think we're both struggling.
I think so. It's just like, oh, dropped a piece. Oh, can't make this work. And I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much for stopping by. And Raven, I hope you had a great stream. Tell me what you were doing.
How was your podcast, Raven?
Yeah, podcast. We were just talking about podcasts.
We were.
Yes. So I know you have recommended to me the Magnus Archives, which I have not started yet.
Oh.
But I want to.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Such a good podcast.
I see stuff about that all the time on Tumblr, and I'm like, okay, I definitely have to check that out. I've been listening to... I like the Giant Bomb. They're like a game review group, but they've recently had some staff changes, so I'm not really sure, how much more I'll listen to. I also am a big fan of My Brother and Me, which is a comedy podcast, and their D&D podcast, The Adventure Zone.
I got really into My Brother and Me at the start of the year because we were in lockdown over here, so like my shop was shut. So I was listening to podcasts whilst I was in the shop with no customers. And I listened to, I think, like 280 episodes of the My Brother and Me podcast in the 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
They are great. I would use them for, car rides all the time, and I felt so strange, like if people were looking at me through the window, because I'm just laughing to myself in the car. Like no one else is with me.
Yeah, they're just so funny. Loopy's just asked in my chat, is the amusement park one good? I've listened to the first couple of episodes. It's not for me, but it does seem very good. They're clearly passionate about the subject. It's just not a subject matter that I have really any interest in. But if you are interested in theme parks and stuff, then it's probably good for you.
What was that again?
It's Rooster Teeth's new podcast. It's oh god, what's it called? Let's find it on my thing, because I have man, my podcasts list is just a mess. It's called Annual Pass.
Nice.
It's just like two people talking about theme park experiences, and one of them used to work at one of the Disneyland parks,
mm-hmm.
And has like a lot of knowledge about how they work and stuff. And it's just kind of, it's for someone who's interested in that sort of thing. I'm sure it'd be very interesting, but I haven't really got any interest in theme parks at all. Split Spark says, have fun, I'll come back later if I can. Thank you for dropping by, and thanks for hanging out, and thank you for the follow and all the bits. I really appreciate it.
Also,
if you haven't already, drop a follow over to Oblique, because she's great.
Thank you so much. I was gonna say, Angry says, I'll shamelessly plug my friend's podcast, Featured Creatures. It's about cryptids, which sounds pretty cool. If you want to drop a link for that, I can try to do a permit for you.
And the other one, which I didn't mention that I watched because, listen to even, because I think pretty much everyone does, is the Critical Role podcast.
I have not. I've heard very good things about it, but I have not. And I'll tell you why.
It's very good.
I've heard people say that it changes people's expectations of D&D. So I don't know how to feel about that. How do you feel about that as a D&D player?
So it didn't really affect my expectations because I'd played D&D prior to listening to it or watching it. Essentially, it's it makes a lot of people think D&D is all excellent improv and excellent roleplay, when a lot of D&D is I roll dice and forget how math works. I steal a thing and everything goes wrong. I can understand why people would have different expectations of D&D after watching or listening to Critical Role, but I think that the story that they tell is brilliant. And if you've got a spare 800 hours,
sure,
I think it's totally worth it.
Definitely. Angry, I'm sorry that didn't work. I don't know why. If you want to post it in Discord, I guess I can copy paste.
Bruce just said, did you mention Off Menu yet, Gray? That's another podcast I listen to. It's James Acaster and Ed Gamble, who were both on Taskmaster.
James
Acaster
Taskmaster is wonderful.
James Acaster is one of the funniest human beings that will ever exist. They have a theoretical restaurant, and they invite a celebrity guest in and get them to talk through what they would order in a theoretical restaurant where they could order everything as their favorite ever starter, main course, side dish, dessert.
That is great.
It's really funny. It's just a way of them having like an interesting in-depth chat with other celebrities or other comedians, with like a weird topic. It's just really interesting. D10 and D13.
And thank you for dropping the Discord, Itchy. Super appreciate that. When you were talking about theme parks, something that's really cool is a YouTube channel called Defunct Land. It's basically a guy that does like a mini documentary series, and every episode is about a different theme park that failed, and exploring like its history from its creation and intention, you know, how it was received, what may have gone wrong. It's really interesting.
Have they done a episode on the Mr. Blobby land?
I don't know. Because he's done some stuff for television shows as well.
Please don't start auto-playing. Thank you. Because there's do you know about Mr. Blobby? That might be just a very, very English thing.
If you could explain, that would be great.
So Mr. Blobby was a character on a TV show in the UK. I can't actually remember what the TV show was. Bruce would probably be able to remember it better than me. But he was like a 7-foot tall pink monstrosity covered in polka dots that would just scream Blobby and was horrifying. It was a nightmare.
Sounds wonderful.
I hated it very much. But there was a theme park, and it is the most cursed thing. I'll see if I can find. There was some urban explorers got in and took photos recently, and it's just horrifying.
It's super interesting. Also, I just posted the link for Angry's Friends podcast, so definitely check that out. And Joe R. Inferno, thank you so much for coming and complimenting the setup. Super appreciate that. Folks, if you're not following Joe R. Inferno, please do. He is a wonderful streamer, excellent kit basher, and just nice person all around. Also plays a lot of Pokemon, which is super fun, which Perseuslad does too.
Oh yeah.
So
if anyone who's tuning in for my normal Pokemon stream, this is what I do the rest of the week. So
I wanted to ask you, how did you get into Nuzlocke runs in particular?
I don't actually know the answer to that. I think I just kind of got bored one day. So there's a couple of people I watch on YouTube that exclusively do Pokemon content, and a lot of what they do is challenge runs. So they'll do like Nuzlocke, they'll do extreme Nuzlocke, that kind of thing. And I think that I just kind of got bored one evening. I was like, let's give it a go. But I actually don't know. I don't think there's any kind of specific thing that made me want to do them. Boredom's the answer to most things with me, to be honest. Joe's just said that he's got a friend whose pop collection may dwarf mine. Fair. I know it. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people that do. I want to stop buying them. I need to stop. I need to stop spending my money on pops and start buying more Gundam instead.
So Joe's been working on a tequila Gundam, and he just said that the leg joint on the tequila just snapped off,
Oh no!
which makes me very sad.
Oh, that sucks, dude. How did that happen? Is it? Do you reckon it's a painting thing? Is it like a paint degradation issue? Yeah, the paint. That is tough to hear, man.
Agreed.
Well, I hope you managed to find a replacement one, dude. Like that's an oof.
It's been a really cool project so far.
Yeah, I mean the fact that you're using like Playmobil parts to use as the hat is that's impressive. See, that's one thing that I don't think I'd ever be able to do as well. The whole kit bashing and customization to that degree. So I just don't have the creativity to do that.
Do you feel like you've made enough Gundam at this point, though, that you could kind of imagine, what parts could work where? Because I think maybe that's where to get started.
I don't know, probably not. Like, so I have this weird thing called anti-Fantasia. I don't know if there was a whole big thing online about it a couple of years ago, which is what kind of made me realize that it's a thing that I have. I can't picture things in my head, so my internal thoughts are completely imageless. So I can't. When people go, oh, well, you can like kind of picture these working together, I'm like, no, I can't. So I think that's why I would struggle with kind of artistic stuff or customization stuff, because I just have no clue. Like I can't imagine how something will look. I'd have to like go online and find pictures of it and kind of try and make them work on Photoshop in the way that I think they would work in real life.
Right.
And I'm bad at computers, so
I disagree. From what I've seen, you taught me how to use Ninja today, for Pete's sake. And I know that you've been customizing your own PC.
I only know how to use Ninja because Edric showed me. Hey, everyone who's here, go and follow Edric. Because he hates it when people shout him out, but he is the best.
He's very wonderful. He's been streaming more recently, too.
He has.
Usually when I'm sleeping, though.
Same. It's very annoying. It's really annoying being in a different time zone to everyone, because like you're either streaming whilst I'm at work, or whilst I'm in bed, and it's I just want to be able to hang out with my friends, but it's always inappropriate times for me. I don't like it.
Oh, I take it back. I said this kit was going to be easy. It's not. But it might just be user error. All right.
How does this go? What do you mean? How do you... Oh, okay. I have a complete foot. That looks pretty cool.
Nice. It does look pretty neat.
Hey, stand up. There we go. Hey, Joe, if you're wanting to know how this setup works, I can send you a message later and tell you how to do it. So you do a lot of like podcasty bits, and it might be easier to do it this way rather than. Oh shit!
What was that?
That was a raid, and it was very loud. Welcome on in, Peg.
Aww.
Thank you for the raid.
How's it going,
That
Peg?
was very loud. We are tonight doing a multi-stream with the wonderful Oblique.
Hello.
There is the multi-stream link.
Hey, Nephilim's here too. I am doing well. How about you, Perseuslad? Hope you're doing well, Nephilim.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you for the resub, Syndra. Yeah, so I've just dropped a link to the thing to the multi, and here is the link to Oblique. If you don't already follow, you should go and follow.
Cintra's here too. Hello.
I'm gonna go turn down that raid notification because that was incredibly loud.
Oh my goodness, and Sindra, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate that. Sindra is great also. Wonderful streamer. Just recently did their first ever Gunpla stream. There we go. So go check out Sindra.
I'm gonna replay that raid notification. Or a raid notification.
Okay.
It should be quieter. Oh, it's not quieter, it's still loud. Ah! Okay, it's gone away. I'm sorry, loud. I'm sorry.
Thanks also for the encouragement, Itchy. I feel like you're always there to say that I can do it. I appreciate that.
I no longer have eardrums. I'm sorry, Innovate. Dang, that's loud, and I work with kids. Wow.
Oof. Oof. What does that say?
Oof, indeed. Well, what it probably says is that I didn't update my alert box source before I did the thing. So.
Okay.
Oh, that's still very loud. Why is Trigger Fire now so loud? Why is everything loud? Edit volume. Let's drop that one down. Let's drop that one down. God, I'm just trying to fix everything on the fly now, and it's
It's okay. It's live. You can't help it. I was gonna say, I find the skirt for this kit really interesting in terms of how much mobility it has here. Without polycaps on these two anyway. I feel like every kit that I've done so far has a different approach to the waist and skirts.
It's the one bit that sometimes feels like it's not quite there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's why I notice it so much, because either they can be like super frail or just really sturdy and just inflexible. I feel like there's no happy medium a lot of the time. Okay,
I think I've turned everything down properly now. Sorry that everything's a bit louder than normal.
Okay, I have to bring this closer to my face because I still don't understand this part.
E26. It doesn't feel like we've been going for an hour and a half. I just had this exact conversation with Joe when we were doing our co-stream on Wednesday. Like, it was suddenly 11 o'clock, and we were both like, what? How did that happen? It just didn't feel like 3 hours had passed in any way. E26.
Okay. In theory, I think I have this in the correct place, but I can't get it to work. Does that happen to you?
Yeah, a lot. I'm always scared to try and force it as well, because I don't want to accidentally break something.
I'm gonna try this though, because I don't really see any other option.
Ichi just said, when you're having fun and surrounded by greatness, time flies. I agree.
Aww.
Being surrounded by great friends is the bestest.
So, remind me again, when did
I feel
you...
that was targeted at me. Yeah, it was, Joe. It was targeted at you. You are bestest. I'm not bestest, but all my friends are bestest. So I just get to benefit from it.
No, you were great.
It's great.
So remind me again, when did you start streaming?
Do you know what? I actually can't remember. I know I've been I think I've been affiliate for 6 months, and I think I was streaming for like 2 months before that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it might be coming up to a year since I started,
Nice.
but I'm honestly not sure.
So what has surprised you the most when it comes to streaming?
That this is gonna sound real stupid. That people actually kind of want to hang out. I wasn't expecting to make any friends. I really wasn't expecting to meet other people that would then become like genuine friends. And I wasn't expecting for there to be as much support as there has for both me and the stuff that I'm doing. It's been real nice. Like I expected to just be streaming to the like 2 or 3 people that I was friends with in real life that were interested in Gundam. But when other people I didn't know started showing up and being like, "Hey, this is fun. I'm going to come back every week." that I'm still kind of confused as to why that happens. But I think that I will always be confused because I mean I wouldn't watch me. But I don't think anybody would watch themselves, to be perfectly honest. How about yourself? I know you've been streaming a little bit less time than I have.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, you were talking about why people would watch. We were just talking about greatness, so there you go.
Well,
it's because you're great, and people appreciate you for who you are. And that's something that I like in your streams too, is, a lot of times you're not afraid to... Thanks, Joe. A lot of times you're not afraid to go into subjects that may be a little bit more sensitive or things that are... I could tell that you're always honest with yourself, and I appreciate when you're talking about things like, feeling vulnerable or emotional, like as a, cisgender man, right? Because you talked before about toxic masculinity, or, how men are expected to hide their emotions and things like that. So I appreciate those kind of conversations, and I know that the one day you felt bad because you were ranting about the education system, but it was a very good discussion.
Oh, I lost it.
So yeah, I think that you're great, whether you're, having those genuine conversations, or if you're just having fun and talking about beating up children in Pokemon.
Wow. I mean, that took a turn, yeah.
No, I'm just being silly.
I think that was all one stream, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Ooh, what a swerve.
Aww.
Loopy's just said, haha, he thinks we're his friends.
Loopy, come on.
Rude. I know where you live, Loopy.
Aw.
I've known you since I was like 3. How did you do this to me?
I was gonna say, I guess for myself, what surprised me the most is, same as you, the support. And I mean, you were a huge part of that, because like I said, back in November was when I streamed my first Gunpla build, and I didn't really know how it was gonna go. And then I think I rated you a few times, and you'd pop up in my chat a lot for the other Gunpla builds. And then I still remember that one day that you helped make me affiliate, which was really sweet of you to do.
I didn't do anything.
You did! It was when I was making the wing, and you messaged all your friends, and you were like, hey, check out this person. It's very kind. And Joe... oh, thank you, Sandra. And Joe also says, everyone brings something unique to their streams, plus the conversation is so smooth and so natural. Love both your streams. Thank you. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about too, is Neon is chaotic all the time. If I jump into a stream, I don't know what he's going to be doing, but it's great. And Perseus is always wonderful to watch too, so absolutely. And Joe, your stuff is always super fun. I feel like you're always trying different things, which I appreciate. Like those dragon kits, I forget exactly what they were called. And you learned panel lining the other week, so it's great. What are you looking the most forward to, Perseus? Also, Rusted Nick, hello. Joe is just snacky.
Why are people always so thirsty for Joe? Bruce is always flirting with Joe in my chat. People are always Mason promotion. Syndra, I'm not a Mason.
I was gonna
Apparently,
say.
a drunk Shadow is saying hi to both of us. So it's hi to drunk Shadow.
Oh,
Loopy.
hello. Joe is a legit snack. I feel like the times that I've talked to Bruce, I've sounded creepy by accident while trying to give a compliment, and I still feel bad about that.
Oh no, you can sound creepy to Bruce. That's fine.
I lost a runner. This happens always. I organized them on the table, and now they're just everywhere.
I start organized, and now I just have a pile, and I don't know where anything is.
So what kind of things are you looking forward to with streaming? I know that's kind of a vague question.
That's a good question. I really don't know. I think the how do words work? The way I've always kind of seen what I do with Twitch is more kind of it's therapeutic for me. Like it's a way that kind of helps to calm me down and relax me in the evenings. So like even if I've had a long or hard day at work, like I'll still try and stream in the evening if it's one of my stream days, because it'll help to wind me down. It'll help to kind of get some of my energy out and kind of get me ready for relaxing. And I want to try and keep that as kind of like the vibe that I go with, because it helps to that I think is why I try and have such a chill vibe, because I'm just chilling out. Like I'm not trying to
right,
I'm not trying to produce anything fancy. I'm just kind of going, I'm gonna sit here and chill and build a model kit and chat with people. Like this is just kind of, so I have no fancy things planned. I think I said I'd do another 12-hour stream if I hit 500 followers, but I don't think that's going to happen anywhere near soon. Loopy's just had his next birthday stream when he opens the Xeon that I'm saving up for. Loopy, if you buy me a Neo Xeon, I will be very upset with you, because that is absurd money. I would love a Neo Xeon, but no.
Well, you did say that, you may have been streaming almost for a year now, so you could do like a anniversary stream.
I could. That is an idea. Did I do a bad? Loopy. No Loopy. No spending nearly £2,000 on me. That's not gonna happen. Please no.
Bruce
is so expensive.
It is expensive. Bruce has reassured me I've never sounded creepy at all, which that's good. And he says, but Gray is right, I won't bat an eyelid as I hear all crazy all day, every day. I'm assuming with work.
He's friends with me. Like he gets to hear the ramblings of my nonsense a lot, so.
But I agree with you in terms of, you're not being performative, right? You're just being yourself, and you're hanging out with people and trying to have genuine conversation. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you were talking about it being therapeutic. That's why I like making kits, because it's something that I want to be doing anyway, and people have a lot of good input when it comes to the hobby. And, I get to talk to people, and then when I'm done, I have something in my hands that I worked on, and I can think about like what was happening around the time of the kit. I still think one of the greatest streams you had was the birthday stream. That was just so much fun.
I really enjoyed that one. Stream for 12 hours. It passed a lot quicker than I thought it would. Mm-hmm. I've just had a cube time redemption for a gold cube, so I'm going to be doing that for probably a lot longer than it should take.
Is your cube
hopefully it doesn't distract my brain better? It's a lot better now. I think I fixed the problems I was having with it before. I still need to get new stickers for it. Some of the stickers are peeling off, but it's horrific. It's still horrific to look at because it's just obscene. it it's so weird.
It's
Yeah,
a lot.
I really enjoyed that 12-hour stream. It was, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It it didn't it wasn't easy, but at the same time it didn't feel like it was really taking any effort.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of felt natural to sort of hang around and chat, especially kind of getting other people into the voice chat, like when you jumped into the voice chat for a little bit, and it was just nice. I really enjoyed it.
It was nice. I liked it.
And I think that, yeah, like I tend to be quite, if I'm having a day, when I do stream, like I do tend to kind of vent my frustration in conversation, and I try not to do that as much as I can, like on stream, because like I know people come to my stream to chill and to have a kind of nice relaxed time, but it is nice to know that people understand where I'm coming from when I'm kind of going a bit mad, and that people kind of appreciate that the conversation's happening. Yeah, I do kind of go a bit mad sometimes though. That all, they're all the right place. Okay, cool.
And Bruce says,
Hi.
I get a lot of gray and then everything I hear at work. So, he understands.
He's gonna get more annoyance from me soon, because he hid my Rowlet and he hid some of my pops, and I was very annoyed.
I wonder how long it'll take you to find them all.
Well, I think I found them. I think I've got them all back in where they were meant to be. He didn't hide the pops. He just turned them. He just turned a bunch of them around. Thinks he's a funny boy.
How many do you figure you have now, roughly?
230, 220. I have a list of them on my phone. Like I know I have a number on my phone. I just can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Gotcha.
It's a problem.
Bruce says you're lying, but I witnessed some of it. That was genuine surprise when Rowlet was missing. You're a delight. You are a delight. That's what I think.
Oh, thank you.
Still,
I don't agree, but thank you. Bruce, just... I invite you into my house, I cook you dinner, and you go and spoil it all by removing my Rowlet. Rude. So rude. Where's... Okay, no. Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh.
Alright.
This cube. It might turn easier now that I fixed it, but it's still just the worst thing. There we go. Okay. It is done.
Hooray. Beautifully done.
Yeah, I've got some like real bad peeling happening on some of these stickers. So I need to find somewhere that can send me a fresh set.
Mm-hmm.
So have you got any big plans for things that you want to do on Twitch?
That's a good question. I don't really know. I mean, like I said, I'm excited to try those new techniques. And I have a couple of other MGs on the back burner as well. So those are going to be fun.
Which ones?
I have the MG Barbados Lupus Rex and the Heavy Arms.
I'm jealous.
Yes. 12-hour stream Dark Souls run? Oh my gosh, I think I would lose my mind, Joe. I was ready to throw the controller last time. We did the same loop for like 4 hours straight. I don't know why I still play that game. I'm so bad. one thing I am going to do, which I forget if I told you or not, Perseuslad, as a celebration for 200 follows, I was going to do an Elton John stream.
Okay.
Just going to dress up and sing while I make the heavy arms, because he's a rocket man.
Yeah. That's cool.
It'll be silly.
Do you have any idea when that's going to be?
I was hoping to shoot for next weekend. We'll see. Itchy recommended 24-hour art stream. That would be interesting. Yes, Rainbow Man. I will sing. I will. I don't know if it'll be good, but it'll be fun.
It'll be good.
You have not heard me, good sir.
It'll still be good. D11.
Thank you.
What do you mean? Where do you what? Huh? Oh. Really? That doesn't seem right. Okay. That really doesn't seem right, but oh well. I'm goblining again, and I really need to stop.
You're okay. Speaking of singing and music, hey, Werebear Rascal, Infernape. How are you doing? I feel like I haven't seen you in a little bit. Hope you're doing well. Will you still be standing after 12 hours? Hopefully. That song would be hard to sing. He goes so fast on that, and sometimes I'm not even sure if he knows what he's saying. That's a fair assessment.
Wasn't there a video of him singing that recently that came out and someone had subtitled it, and it just actually was nonsense?
Yes, that's why I said it. Oh gosh. Doing well? Working? Oh, well, I hope you have a good rest of your day at work. And Rust Nick, you'll be back later. Need to get lunch started. Well, thanks so much for stopping by, and tell us what you get for lunch. Hey, Vin is here too. Folks, if you don't follow Vin's hobby spot, please do, because his kits are amazing looking. I am working on the HG Zaku 2 red version, and Perseuslad is working on the RG... How did you say that again? The
Quanti,
okay.
I think. It's the Quanti Transam Colors clear version.
And Pod says, the part when someone struggles a lot in Dark Souls games is the most interesting part for him. But I can imagine it's better to look at them playing. So basically he likes to watch me suffer.
I think that's why a lot of people watch Dark Souls. Just because it is basically suffering the game.
Yes. It feels very satisfying though when you actually get through what you need to get through. And I think that's why I stick with it.
Itchy just said, lol, someone will say it right soon. It ain't gonna be me.
Toxic, thank you so much for subscribing, folks. Toxic is another great Gunpla builder. I'm not sure if he's going to be doing any Gunpla streams soon, but he's been here building and helping me out from the very beginning, so super appreciate him. Go give him a follow. And Werebear Rascal says, not working today, that's just where I've been. Well, as long as you like your workplace, then I guess it's a good place to be.
It feels so wrong not pound lining everything right now.
Does it? This is something that I screw up a lot, which is the direction of joints. I'm not sure why, but I feel like I always make a leg that's gonna bend the wrong way.
Ray, thank you for the gift sub to Craig. I appreciate it, buddy.
So I was going to ask you, speaking of Elton John and singing, what is your album of the week? What have you been listening to?
Oh, man. So I don't really listen to kind of much in the way of whole albums anymore. Like I have a bunch of different Spotify playlists. And I've been listening to an embarrassing amount of BTS again.
Me too. No embarrassment. No embarrassment.
BTS is fucking good. Yeah, my work playlist has a whole load of BTS on because one of the people I work with is a huge fan, and because I've listened to it so much at work, like it's really stuck with me. And just the amount of Dynamite covers that I listen to is it's ungodly. That's why I think this playlist actually has some of the lo-fi copyright-free BTS bits on.
Nice. So Toxic says, 2 of the bestest builders on Twitch working together? Awesomeness. Thank you so much. That's too kind.
Aww.
And Angry says, working forever.
Toxic.
I know, he's so sweet. And Werebear says, I'm also looking for mecha artists for a project. Interesting. Very cool. And Itchy says, BTS. Yeah, the first song I heard from them was Fake Love a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that got me hooked.
Yeah, it's I've been watching through the old episodes of Bon Voyage when I get a chance.
What's that?
It's their, like, it's not quite a vlog series, but it's they get sent to different countries and they have challenges to do.
Oh.
As do you know, The Amazing Race?
Yes.
It's kind of like that, but it's not a race and they're all working together. So they're all just going to
Cool.
around a bunch of different countries. Each season is a different country and they have like a whole bunch of different activities that are planned for them. And it's just so wholesome seeing their interactions with each other and how they kind of do stuff. I don't know, it's great.
That sounds
It's kind of hard
awesome.
to describe, but it's just so nice. It's a breath of fresh air in this kind of terrible world that we're living in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds very cool.
What the hell kind of weapon is that? That's a big sword.
Is it like Berserk's sword?
It's wider than he is.
So it does sound like
How does
Berserk's
that
sword.
work? Okay, that's cool. Okay, maybe I should have actually looked at this kit before I start building it, because I don't actually know what the thing even looks like. I just know that it looks cool. You mean the best kind of sword? Yes.
Exactly.
Any sword that is bigger than a person is
The sword to have.
is the best. Yeah. Especially if it's also a gun.
Ah, Fury.
P14,
567. Thank
P15.
you so much for the follow. Super appreciate that. And Hey Guy says, it's nice to watch your stream while you work on yours. What kit are you working on, Hey Guy?
P14, D15, D12. And then, oh man, this is a lot of pieces. D12E.
So, along with, enjoying your streams.
30.
Oh, you meant your stream. Okay, gotcha. So Perseus, along with enjoying your streams, I found that through conversation, we had a lot more in common than I thought we would, which was surprising. Like, just small things, like, both really enjoying Brian David Gilbert.
Oh, Brian David Gilbert is a delightful human.
Yes.
If he is a human at all. I'm still dubious on that. Yeah, it's weird. Because every time we've spoken about something, it's been. Like, I think I sent that BDG link to the tape one, the teaching
Yes.
someone how to use the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I sent that to a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
A bunch of people that I'd seen, that I'd recommended Magnus to, because that's really big Magnus Archives vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, "Oh, Brian David Gilbert, this is great." And like the amount of, even things like BTS, like I've said that I've enjoyed listening to BTS stuff to a lot of people, and they always go either "Who's BTS?" or "Why would you enjoy listening to that?" But we seem to have kind of very, very similar tastes in a lot of things.
Yes. I was gonna say, don't shame people's, music or anything like that,
Yeah.
Not you specifically, I'm just saying, like, when people are like, oh, I can't believe you listened to that.
It's it goes back to the Thank you for the gift sub, Charlie.
No one can escape the David special.
Naliza. The all of the looking after people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it goes back to the conversation that I've had many times on my stream before, in that like there's a lot of hatred towards enjoying bands like BTS and other kind of all male groups, because people think it's unmanly. They think that it's not like right for a guy to listen to. And I'm like, that's just, it's good music. You can appreciate that it's good music. Like, yeah, it might not be to your taste, but like, why go out your way to criticize somebody for music they enjoy listening to?
Absolutely.
Like, it just seems daft to me.
Citrus said, looking cool AF with those stretches. Thank you. Not really sure what you mean, but thank you. I wanted to say also that, yes, I'll never forget this. Oh, go ahead.
Bruce is trying to make Bruce is making a joke of some sort, and I'm not. Apparently, I missed the joke. Okay, carry on. I'm just going to ignore Bruce because he's silly.
I did college radio for a little bit, and one of the pieces of advice that I'll never forget is, never play a song and then be like, oh gosh, that was terrible, so sorry that you had to listen to that, because you never know. You never know what people might enjoy, because we had music that you absolutely had to play on the station, and sometimes it could be really hit or miss, but, if you didn't like it, you can just say, well, that was interesting, and, move along with it.
Wasn't for me, but it might be for somebody else. Yeah,
absolutely.
I do read what you say, Bruce, but sometimes things get missed because I'm stupid. So you should know this by now.
I also wanted to say that I remember during one of my first streams, I was talking about Bare Metal Hot Wheels, that channel, and you were like, oh, I watch that all the time. Yeah. And I'm like, I have never met anybody else that has watched that. So that's what I mean, that I feel like everything I've been interested in, you're like, oh yeah, me too.
I found there was another YouTube channel that I started watching that it was just somebody sandblasting bits of cars.
Ooh.
And it's just like, I don't know why it's satisfying to watch people do that kind of thing. It just, I don't know, it just kind of itches, it scratches an itch somewhere. Well, Bruce, stop trying to guilt me into listening to you.
I was gonna say, even though I'm not a huge fan of wasps and hornets, that one channel you shared was still really interesting. The guy that removes like the nests for a living. Yeah,
I really enjoy his video. I also don't like. I think I have an. I think I'm allergic to wasps. I got stung once when I was a kid, and I remember having like a really, really bad reaction to it. So I have like I very much dislike wasps, but that dude's channel is just so kind of, it's interesting because he talks about the process of going through discovering where the nest is, how big the nest's going to be, and how he's going to remove it, causing the least damage to the ecosystem. So he like tries to save the wasps to then release elsewhere. And without causing damage to the person's home that it's been found in. And it's really just interesting. There was another one, the spider guy that I watched, Dark Den. So I hate spiders. I cannot stand spiders. They creep me the hell out. But this is a dude called Petco that just, he keeps tarantulas, like hundreds of tarantulas. And it's just him going through the process of teaching you how to look after a tarantula, how to best, like what kind of habitat to certain tarantulas like, and making these terrarium type things to keep the tarantulas in, and feeding and watering them. Like it's really interesting, even if I absolutely can't stand tarantulas.
Right, because the tanks and everything, the whole ecosystem they set up is interesting. Angry says ranchos, which yes, a couple weeks ago we were looking at a lot of tarantulas on stream. Don't know how we got there, but it was interesting. And Angry's asking if I worked at a radio station. It was part of like a club activity I got trained to, do the college radio, and they had their own station. So it wasn't paid work, but it was definitely a lot of fun. I learned a lot. It's just hard because when you have FCC regulations, it's like, I don't know what I can say after a while.
Choose to there. Oh wow, that's so pink.
Is it? Can we see?
Does that?
Ooh, very nice.
It's kind of it looks so much more pink in real life, but that's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this kit's gonna look so good.
Thank you for the posture check, Itchy. It's definitely something I have to work on. I wanted to ask you, speaking of jobs, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a helicopter pilot.
Cool.
That's something that I haven't really told many people. That's like a genuine thing that I used to really want. But then when I got into secondary school, I never really knew what I'd need to do that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question for... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So I just kind of didn't have any real idea what I wanted to do academically, because I was just like, I want to fly helicopters.
That's really awesome, though. It's a good question for chat, too. Cassandra said cowgirl. And Itchy said same, which I'm assuming was for the helicopter pilot.
What about yourself? Did you want to work in radio production, that sort of thing? Or
no. When I was in kindergarten, it's on tape, because there was a mom of one of the students that had recorded us, like, in kindergarten and then in 6th grade, and then when we graduated, asking, what we wanted to be. I wanted to be like Jeff Corwin, have my own TV show where I'd go around and look at wildlife.
That's cool.
I don't know. Very specific. Bruce says anything involving making things or fixing things. That kind of worked out. So let me ask you this. If you had the chance to fly a helicopter now, would you?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I could go and learn how to do it in a safe environment and do that, then yeah, I totally would. I've never been in an aircraft. So I've never been in a plane. I've never been in a helicopter.
Really?
But I still that was always my aspiration when I was a kid, was to learn how to fly a helicopter and to be a helicopter pilot.
So...
I just thought it'd be so baller, just like turning up places and parking your helicopter, and I just thought it'd be great.
You tap the button on the keys and it beeps.
Yeah.
And you're parking it.
You valet it, just land at the valet station and get someone to park it for you.
And Angry says, good aspiration animal shows are cool. Thanks for that. I don't know why I picked Jeff Corwin as opposed to somebody like really epic like Steve Irwin. No idea.
Oh man, I miss Steve Irwin.
Me too. Are you afraid of heights at all?
Yes.
Me too.
When I was in year 6, so I don't know what that would be equivalent to. I would have been 12.
That's about the
2003.
same. Yeah, it's about the same.
So I would have been 10 or 11 or 12 maybe. We went to this outdoor activity center thing for a week with school. And one of the activities that we did was we did abseiling and then a zip wire. And I got to the top of this 40-foot zip wire tower. They had you hooked onto both the tower and the line. And I was I couldn't move. I was just stuck. I was attached to the wire. They'd unattached me from the tower, and they were like, "You can jump now." And I just couldn't move my legs. And that's kind of been with me my entire life. Every time I go somewhere, if I can see out over a balcony of a high building, I kind of get a bit freezy.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of lose the ability to function properly.
That is very frightening.
It's certainly not great. Probably wouldn't be a great thing if you're a pilot.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah. Yeah, and having also never been in a plane, I don't know how I deal with that kind of thing.
I think takeoff is rough, but after that you kind of get used to it.
Well, I was meant to be going to Japan this summer, but obviously that kind of went out the window.
That's really cool. What were you gonna do there?
Just going on holiday. We were gonna go and so it was Chewy, who's in my chat, was one of the people that I was gonna be going with.
That's really
and
awesome.
Loopy, who's also in my chat. But we were gonna go spend some time in Tokyo and Kyoto, and then we were possibly going to hit up South Korea on the way back to split the journey up a little bit. So my first flight would have been theoretically in a series of flights to get to Japan, which would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would be a recommended thing, having never flying and then going on like a I want to say it's like a 23-hour, including the changes and the stops.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you've started, you can't back out again.
Oh yeah.
And if it turned out that I was absolutely petrified and
land the plane, I want to go home.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like that. It's not like you can say that. Craig's just said thank you to Ray for the gift sub. And that he's DMing a D&D game in the background, so he didn't see it. I hope your D&D's going well, Craig.
So Bruce says, heights are the best. Far, far better than water. Angry says, also deathly afraid of heights. And he's asking if we like roller coasters. So do you like them?
I don't know. I haven't been on one in many, many years. Last one I went on I didn't enjoy, because I don't like that feeling of not being in control. But I suspect that I'd probably enjoy it more now that I've ridden a motorbike for like 8 years. I'm kind of used to speed and that kind of thing now. I think I'd probably enjoy it more now than I did before. How about yourself?
I hate them. It scares me so bad.
Is it that lurching feeling of it moving without you knowing that it's like the not being in control of it that does it? Or is it?
It's the instinctual fear. I have no idea. So my friends and I went, to this park one day, and they were like, "Oh, we'll start out with like one of the easier ones, one of the slower ones. It has no loops or anything." And I'm like, "Okay, great." And it's like going flat, like this, and I'm like, "Okay, that's not so bad." And the first time that it takes like a dip that's like curved going down to the ground, I just lost it, because I was like, I am going to just tunnel into the ground. I'm gonna die. So that was it.
Yeah, I think like I say, I've only been on, there aren't that many in the UK. Mm-hmm. There's a place called Thorpe Park that I went to as a kid, and there was only one roller coaster type thing that I went on. It was a log flume. Mm-hmm. So it was this, and like I was essentially told. So I went with my sister and my grandparents, and they were like, "Oh, it's just a log flume. Like it's just like a nice, gentle log ride." And I was like, "Cool, I'll go on that." And then it goes under a waterfall, and then it kind of goes off the edge of it. It goes off the track, mm-hmm. Off like a mini like cliff type thing. So over like a 6-foot drop into water and back onto tracks, and then it goes up like 80 feet. And God. I was just terrified, and then it just goes straight down, and I was like, what do you mean this is stop? I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it at all. I never went back on another one after that.
Well, it's funny.
I was maybe like 12 or 13 at the time, so
yeah,
I'll enjoy it more now.
I was in early high school, and it was funny because the whole day I still went on other roller coasters. I was like, okay, maybe it'll be okay. Maybe I'll get used to it. And every time I was still like, nope. I could not open my eyes. I could get through as long as I just kept them closed or just looked at like my feet, and that was it. Yeah, I've not tried a log flume.
I've still got the photos. I think I've got the photos from that one. somewhere next door. Like, I think I've got them somewhere, but I don't know.
If you find them, please share them.
I was terrified. Yeah, I will do. I'll put them in Discord if I do.
Angry says, but I love roller coasters. I live next to a Six Flags though, so you've been plenty of times, but the dropping feeling in the gut is pretty terrifying. Yeah, I agree.
I think, like I say, I think for me it's the, because I get that feeling when I'm on the bike. It's that kind of that sudden acceleration feeling, kind of that drops your stomach out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm used to that on the motorbike, but like I can't. I'm in control when I'm on the bike, and I think that that's the difference. I think that it's like because I get the same feeling in the cars occasionally, like when you go over a hill a bit too quick in a car.
Yes.
When I'm on my bike, I'm absolutely fine with that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm in a car as a passenger, it makes me want to die. And I don't know whether it is just a control thing. It's weird. Humans are weird.
I was gonna say it's hard to say, but I'm glad we're exploring it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. D9. There you are, D9.
One of the other rides, in that place in particular, you basically had like a giant cable that went across the whole park, and it was probably like, I don't know, maybe like 30 feet off the ground or something like that. It was basically so you could get a bird's eye view of the entire place. And you had a little car where you could fit like 2 people and just a bar that you would hold onto and your legs would be dangling. And I remember I went with my friend and it was the most agonizing time because it took forever to get across the whole park, and she's not even holding on to the bar. She's like swinging her legs and just looking at the scenery, and I'm like clinging on for dear life, and I'm like, when will this end? Please let me go.
That sounds absolutely horrifying. It's really silly as well, like the whole zipline thing. I really enjoyed the zipline when I did it, and then I went back up to do it again because I enjoyed it so much. But I couldn't do it again. Like my legs just wouldn't move. Oh man, it's so odd. Human bodies are weird.
They are.
Because like it's definitely instinctual responses. Like your body knows that heights are bad. Your body knows that falling from a height is not a good thing. Mm-hmm. So it stops you from doing it, even if your brain's going, no, this is safe. I'm attached to a thing. I'm safe.
I'm fine.
Your body's like, nope, legs won't move.
Not today. So Dan asks, if mobile suits are sometimes mobile armors, what is the mobile armor of a mobile armor? I do not feel qualified to answer that question.
Stopped working. I have no idea.
Neither do I.
I wonder if anyone made a suit for a mobile suit. That I made a little tiny tuxedo to put a Gundam in.
That'd be adorable. I wish I was better at sewing.
Oh, I hate bits like this. It's a little joint that needs to click into another bit that's already on. But I hate having to put pressure on pieces that are already on the kit, because I'm always scared that I'm gonna push too hard and like snap a joint or something.
Totally agree with you. So what are some of your recommendations in terms of starting a real grade kit? Because that's something I do want to do, but it makes me nervous.
The Mark II. So the one that I did as my first kit was the real grade, the Wing Zero EW, which is this one, and I bought it just because of its looks. Like, I'm gonna be honest, slap a pair of wings on something and I'm gonna buy it. Like, that looks it just looks incredible. So that was my first real grade kit, and probably only my second or third kit that I built since restarting doing Gundam. One of my friends recently got into Gundam. She built a high grade and then bought this one at the same time as I did and built it. And then I got a message from her being like, I will never build another kit that isn't a real grade. Like,
Oh.
that was the most fun I've ever had with a model kit.
That's awesome.
It's a solid enough build. It's a bit finicky to pose if you don't have a stand for it because of the weight of the wings. But it's a glorious build. If you're wanting a more simple real grade to build first, the Mark II, either the Titans one, which is just the different colored version, or this one. It's again just a solid, good build. That's the one I did in my birthday stream. So that one I did in the one sitting. But it's a really fun kit and a really solid build. The only one that I would definitely say not to get is the RX-78 II. Definitely don't do that as your first real grade. I would say probably don't ever do it as any real grade.
Just don't do it. Just don't.
It's shockingly bad.
So Angry says, newer ones the better. First runs on anything have a few kinks, which I've also heard. And he says, not the Sinanju? Sinanju? I feel like I've heard of that before, but I can't recall.
Is the Sinanju not great, Octopus? Because I very nearly ordered one of them today. There's a whole bunch of... One of the UK stores has just got a whole bunch of restocks in, and I've just been oogling over all of the real grades and going, ooh, I want it. Bruce has returned with a massive dinner. What did you get, Bruce?
Ooh. And Obtuse says it doesn't stand up very well, is the issue.
Okay. See, I don't think that would be a problem for me because I put most of my kits on stands. Hip joint doesn't work very well. Okay.
Yep.
I think that's a fairly common problem with some of the bulkier kits. So I've not built it myself to give the recommendation, but a lot of people recommend the new Gundam as like the perfect real grade to build first because it's one of the newer ones, so it doesn't have any of the old real grade problems. And it's apparently just like the nicest build that you'll ever have. I've got one in my backlog, like I'm gonna build it next after this one. Unless Edric gets back to me with his choice, because he redeemed a choose my next kit but hasn't actually chosen yet. So I've sent him links to all the websites that he can get me to order from, but he hasn't actually told me which one to order.
It's a tough choice.
It is a lot. It is.
So. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just gonna say about the tall geese that Obtuse Dino was saying. I want to build one of them.
Yes,
it looks cool.
They do look cool. And Obtuse also said the RG new is really good. My first RG was the tall geese. Nice.
How does this go on? What do you mean? Oh. Am I meant to just brute force it? I don't want to do that.
Obtuse has 2 tall geese in the backlog.
The tall geese looks good. Bruce says that he's got roast pork, roast potatoes, loads of veg, and an apple and beetroot gravy. That sounds pretty good.
Phenomenal. Yep.
Got any Yorkshires with that, Bruce?
So this may be...
I can't tell if that's in the hole or not.
So, going back to what you wanted to be when you grew up and kind of your past, if this is too personal, just let me know. But how do you feel your life is now compared to 10 years ago?
Oh. 10 years ago. I would have been 18. It's better, I'd say. But also worse in some ways. Like, I have to pay tax now, which sucks. But I have a job, so I can spend money on things. I don't know. That's a tough question. So 10 years ago, I would have just been finishing college. I had just got out of a fairly long relationship, and I wasn't having like the best time at college, which led me to meet Bruce. Like, I met Bruce in college because I was having like a pretty rough time and I lost my friend group. It was like everybody. It was like a divorce in the breakup that everyone had to choose a parent to go with, and the entire friend group went off with her, and I found a new one through Bruce, pretty much. But I don't know, like, life's a lot better now. It definitely has its moments of badness, but I think that goes for everyone. I think everyone has days where they wish that things weren't the way they are and that they could go back in time, but it's definitely better. Even like compared to a year ago, like, it's so much better. That got a little bit deeper than I intended it to. How about you?
You're fine. But I agree. I mean, I feel like I was 18 back then. I was graduating high school and moving on to college, or I guess, is that the equivalent for university for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So college for us is like a 2-year period before uni. So I would say that's like the last few years of high school.
Okay. I am a much different person now than I was before. I think, like you were talking about, like, you know, there's always bad times, there's bad things that happen, but I feel like I am much better at coping with issues.
Yeah.
And just knowing that, you know, things will pass, and yes, I've made some mistakes, but at the same time, I don't regret making those mistakes because it's those experiences that have made me, you know, who I am. And I feel much more comfortable with myself, which is good. So if you could give your past self 3 pieces of advice, what would you say?
That is a very, very hard question.
Or we could just do 1 piece of advice.
I think the very stereotypical "it gets better," because like I say, at that time in my life, I didn't have many friends. I didn't really So I didn't do super well in college. I didn't end up going to university because I passed all of my A-levels, but I didn't get particularly good grades. So the degree courses that I wanted to do, I couldn't do because I didn't have good enough grades for it.
Right.
And I had no idea what I was going to do in my life. Like, it was at a point where all of my friends were going to university. All of my family at that point in their life had then gone to university. It was the dictated norm that you go to university and that university is the only acceptable next step. And I was in a really awkward situation of, I can't go to university. Like, I didn't get good enough grades to do the course that I wanted to do. I wasn't gonna go into a course that I wasn't interested in because it's £9,000 a year to go to university. Right. Like, I can't justify getting that level of debt for something that I genuinely have no interest in. And I was kind of adrift. So I think if I'd had somebody to turn around and tell me that it gets better and that, like, your life doesn't end at the end of college, like, your life moves forward more from your education than you'd realize, then that would have been appreciated. But like, I didn't have anyone like, and I've gone into this quasi political round before, about the education system and how it's balked. But like, having literally everybody in your life telling you that going, oh, which university are you going to go to? When are you going to go to university open days? Like, which uni have you applied to? Like, none. I haven't done any of that. Having literally every figure of authority turning around saying, yeah, when are you going to apply for universities? Right. Having it like an actual fixed part of the curriculum being how to apply to universities, it it really makes you feel like a garbage human when you don't. So literally, I think if I could go back in time 10 years and tell myself one thing, it would be, don't worry about it. Don't stress about it as much as you're going to, because it will work itself out. You're not just gonna not do anything with your life because you didn't go to university. You'll find a way. And I think that's an important message that a lot of people need to hear.
It is really nice. I think it's interesting that they had course curriculum that focused on that. It's like, what if someone was going into a trade, or they just didn't want to go to university, then they just still had to know how to do it?
Yeah, it wasn't exactly like a course, but it was a thing that we did so we had like tutor groups, where we'd get like they'd do like sex education and that kind of thing, and it was one of the big things that the tutors had to do was go through our UCAS applications. I don't know what does UCAS stand for? I can't remember. But it was like the university application process. Like we had like a day each month or something where we had to go through university application stuff, and it was just so draining, knowing full well from the start of my second year of college that I wasn't going to university, but still having to go through the process because it was what was expected of you.
Right.
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. I think I have finished a leg.
Yeah. So Angry said, my advice would have been to invest in some stocks and don't hang out with these specific people. Yep. And in terms of the education system, Borked is a bit light. Bruce said, very few things are truly a mistake, just a learning experience with an undesirable outcome at that particular moment.
Yeah.
And Bruce also said that there were some alternatives that were supported in those.
There were, but it was very kind of. A lot of what I had was familial pressure, because I've got one brother and two sisters, all of them older than me. My brother at that point was in the middle of I think he'd just finished his PhD in maths. One of my sisters was in the last year of her master's in maths, and my other sister was in the last year of her maths degree. My mum has a maths degree, and my dad went to uni for something, but I can't remember what it was. So like it was very. Oh, my music's just stopped. Why is my music stopped? There was definitely a lot of pressure to go into maths or science or something like that, and it was that I know that I wouldn't have had the support of my family if I'd gone into a more practical field. Like I wish so when I was at college I did a photography course, so I did a 2-year photography A-level, and I wish that I'd concentrated more on that than the maths and physics that I was doing, because then I could have gone to a university to do something in photography, or I could have become a freelance photographer, which I would have enjoyed a hell of a lot more than trying to get a maths course sorted, because I hate maths. I might understand how numbers work, but maths sucks. It's just the worst.
It's just not fun.
It really isn't.
And
like, I enjoy maths puzzles just as much as the next person, but like, if not probably a little bit more. But like, why would you want to go and study maths for 4 years? Like, that's just stupid. Anyway.
I was going to say that I didn't know that's how you met Bruce. That's very nice. And I'm glad that, he was there for you. And that's, how you developed your friendship. That's awesome.
I think he adopted me like I was a lost, sad puppy. That's, I think, pretty much how it went. I think he found me sitting under a set of stairs one day, and then I just started following him around.
I guess a piece of
it's all about to engineering, I feel attacked. Jay, engineering is not maths. Engineering involves maths. but doing just a pure maths course, why? I don't get it. It's
So
silly.
Bruce says, that is pretty much how I describe it, but it always sounds more tragic than it actually was.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I was crying when you first met me, Bruce.
Aw.
Oh, I had a special breakdown set of stairs. So if I was having a real bad day and wanted to go and just have a breakdown somewhere, I'd go and sit under the stairs in this particular bit of the building.
That's pretty
And
nice.
I'm pretty sure that's where Bruce found me. Because
Yes.
it's far enough away from the classrooms that the teachers wouldn't hear.
You just said accurate, so...
Oh, college was fun.
So a piece of advice I'd give my younger self would probably be... well, there's a lot, but I guess I would just say take your time with things. Kind of like enjoy the moment more. Don't worry so much about the future, because I feel like a lot of times, and even still now, I'm very much like future oriented, thinking about, you know, how things may change over time, but I'm trying to unlearn that and just enjoy the present, because there's not going to be another moment like this. Like, you never know when this might change for you.
I think this last year's shown a lot of people the importance of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know when... Well, not to be too morbid, but you never know when your time here is going to be done.
Right.
And if you're living every day to worry about what's going to happen in a week's time, what's going to happen in a month's time, and then that time never comes, like, then you've wasted your time. And it's so difficult to not worry and to not think about what you'll want to do in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a very good bit of advice.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, this is coming from the person that when I was a kid, I remember in August, I would always be like, what am I gonna be for Halloween? Like, I really need to figure this out right now. Like, even just simple, small stuff like that, I would be freaking out about.
Yeah.
So, yes. It is a lesson to be learned, regardless of how cliche it sounds.
I think the other piece of advice that I'd give, and one that I still need to like actually act on a lot more, would be that you don't owe anybody anything.
Yeah.
Like I spent a lot of the time when I was in school and college, like thinking that I owed people for their friendship, for literally anything. Like I spent my entire life trying to repay people that I didn't need to repay, and doing everything I could to help somebody because I thought that I owed them that courtesy, and not allowing myself to do things for me because of it.
Right.
Which I've worded that very badly.
No,
but...
I think you're accurate, and kind of something I would say would be like a piece of advice, you know, for my past self would be stand up for yourself more. Like, don't just feel obligated to do things. Don't feel that you can't say no just because you don't want to, you know, or whatever. Like, you don't need to give people an explanation or a reason. Just...
Yeah. You need to put... I think if I'd put the same amount of effort into helping myself as I'd put into helping other people through my life,
yes.
I would probably be in a much better place today. But that's something that I'm learning, and I'm still like actively trying to do. Like I still find myself going out of my way to like essentially sacrificing things myself to help other people.
Right.
And I need to try and I know it sounds kind of cold-hearted to say,
No.
but I need to try and think about myself first a bit more.
No, because how are you going to be there for other people if you can't, you know, be there for yourself if you're not taking care of yourself?
Yeah.
Yes, and Obtuse brought...
As all of the cool kids say, you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Obtuse said, you are not responsible for someone else's happiness. Absolutely, that is a perfect way to say it. And Anger was asking, how's Halloween in the UK, but also just added you need to secure your air mask before helping others. Yep, it's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So how is Halloween in the UK?
I never did Halloween. My parents didn't like that sort of thing. I wasn't allowed to do a lot when I was a kid. It's definitely not as big a deal as it is in the States. People do trick or treating, but it's very much like just an excuse to go out and get sweets. There's no like real big drive to get people to dress up. There's no real big like. Well, at least when I was a kid, there wasn't really any big Halloween parties or anything. It's a lot more low key here, I think. That might just be my weird experience, though. Like that might not be 100% accurate compared, like for everyone else in the UK. That might just be like I'm a very weird person. Like I had a weird childhood.
Well, if you ever come to visit in the States, we'll have a Halloween party. Regardless of what time of year it is.
I want to come to the States to visit, like, so obviously I mentioned earlier that I'm a big fan of Rooster Teeth. I want to come over to their big convention in Austin, which again I was hoping to do this year, but plague ruins everything. But I also want to do I want to hire a Harley Davidson and do a cross-country road trip. So ride from Austin to somewhere opposite from Austin. I want to go to Anaheim. I want to visit people that I want to like go and hang out with the Gundam community over that way.
That'd be
so
cool.
There's like Freddie and Meg and Neon and all that live in kind of like, and Edric lives over in that direction as well. I want to go to New York Comic Con. Man, all the exciting things happen not in England, and it sucks.
Let's see. So, Bruce said 3 camps for Halloween over here. Don't bother. Madhouse party with costumes. Fun time for the kids. Yeah. And Anger was also going to go to Japan this year, but it didn't happen. I'm sorry to hear that. LA had lots of events for Gunpla, I'm assuming? Or just in general. Like, I think that's where they have, like, the TwitchCon and all that, too, right?
I'd love to go to TwitchCon. Do we know where RainbowCon's going to be?
No. I don't think they've discussed the venue yet.
Oh, man. I hope it's England.
We have to, like, find somewhere in the middle on the world map. Be like, okay, here.
In the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Yep.
Oh.
It's gonna be in Minecraft?
Okay. Scared the hell out of me.
What was it?
Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome, Jess Corey. Thank you for the raid.
Oh, another raid.
We are doing a multi-stream today with the wonderful Oblique.
Hello.
There is a link to the multi, and also there is a link to Oblique's channel.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing, Corey? I hope you're having a good day. How was your stream? That raid alert is still very loud, so again, I apologize for anyone who's just been vibing with the chill vibes. I need to turn it down, but I don't know how, because I'm stupid. Just finished Mass Effect 1. Felt weird streaming games after only doing model kits since January, though. I get that a lot. I think that I feel weird when I stream Pokemon, even though I've done it for like the last 20... I think I've worked out I've done it for the last 24 weeks.
Wow.
Because I save every VOD of every stream that I do. And I just have folders marked as like Pokemon streams. But I'm like, people like watching Gundam stuff. I always forget that there are people that only come in on the Sundays to watch the Pokemon bit. It's weird. Have you played Mass Effect 1 before, Corey, or is this like your first time playing through it? So other than the I've already forgotten the name of that game again, Oblique.
Oh, Kingdom Come.
Brain. That one, yeah. Other than
Yeah.
that, are there any games that you're playing at the moment,
Yeah. So
or games that you're looking forward to playing?
yes. So I played a little bit of Monster Hunter Rise, which I definitely want to play more of. I think they did a lot with that, which makes it more fun. Like all the mobility options that you have are super great. And Pokemon Snap. Have you gotten a chance to play that yet?
I haven't. I keep trying to
Oh,
get out on my lunch break and pick up a copy.
so you like physical
Um,
copies as opposed to digital?
I don't trust my Switch not to break, and if it breaks, I know it'll be a lot easier to just have a physical copy of the game to use again,
Gotcha.
if that
Okay.
makes any sense.
Yeah.
I have a weird thing about physical media. I like to with games. I like to own them. I like to have like a box for them.
No, it's
Um,
understandable because you never know when they
like
might like
servers are going to go
take down the
offline,
server.
or
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
You've played Mass Effect 1 through 3 probably 10 times now. Nice. I'm a bit weird with Mass Effect. I've played 3, but I've never played 1 or 2. So I'm probably going to pick up the new legendary edition, whatever it's called, the 1 through 3 that's just come out. I'm probably going to pick it up on Steam, and play through it on the computer, because I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be a fun time.
Uh, but with Pokemon Snap, I thought it was just kind of taking advantage of nostalgia. Like at first, I was like, oh, it's like all the people that played that growing up are adults now that can buy the game again. I don't know what they're gonna do differently with it, but it's so good. It is very good. And Angry says, always physical. I like owning the things I buy. I want to play through Jade Empire and Fable again. Fable has been on my list. I have not heard of Jade Empire. And Nephilim was asking, what do you think of Resident Evil Village?
I've not played any Resident Evil game.
Mm-hmm.
I've enjoyed watching Neon and Claire play it, because I enjoy watching them doing anything, basically. Same as, like, I've never played Dark Souls, but I enjoy watching you play it because
Thank you.
yeah, it's fun personality based stuff. Like, it's not the kind of game that I'd ever play myself, but I enjoy watching someone play it as long as I enjoy that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The whole physical media thing it becomes a problem for me. It's the collector brain in me. I end up so I have one of every Pokemon game that's been released. And the most recent ones, like Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I bought the collector's edition so that I'd have the fancy box.
Nice.
I can't stop myself from just buying stupid things. Has my camera gone weird on your end?
It looks fine to me right now.
Okay, I'm just gonna refresh. Oh yeah, it's back. Okay, cool.
Okay.
It was all baconated for me.
And to answer your question, Nephilim, Resident Evil Village looks really cool. I like the monsters quite a lot. I don't do particularly well with scary games. Like, I've tried to play Silent Hill, and I just end up cursing at the monsters the whole time. Like, it's the only way that I can get through. So I might try it sometime.
How are you playing Dark Souls then?
Because I don't
Dark
know.
Souls is scary.
They're gross, but they're not like, I don't know. With Silent Hill, the ambience, like the sound is really creepy, and you can't really kill anything, so you're constantly running away. And same thing with Resident Evil, like all that resource management is difficult. Very challenging. What about you, Perseuslad? What other games have you been playing, or are you looking forward to playing?
Mass Effect is definitely up there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play some more Witcher. I got the Witcher 3.
Nice.
That I haven't really had much of a chance to play more of. But I've been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls Online recently, because again, one of my friends has been talking about it for the entire time I've known her, and then I finally got around to buying it, and we've just been playing it almost every day, and it's just such a fun game. It's so big.
You're an elf in that, right? I'm trying to think. Was it a wood elf or a dark elf?
Yeah, I'm a I'm a wood elf, and I have a big sword, and I
Nice.
kill things.
Nephilim.
It's
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
it's great. I was gonna say it's like my D&D. It's like my what I like doing in D&D is just like get big sword, hit thing.
Yep.
It's great.
That's all you need. Nephilim says, no worry, horror games are not for everyone. I love horror games and movies. No, I like them too. It's just they're so gosh dang scary. And like, I want to get through them, but maybe one day. I have Prey on the list too, which I know is supposed to be super scary. So perhaps.
Yeah, I can't do scary things. I was forced into playing Phasmophobia a couple of times.
Oh boy, I would have loved to see that.
And I did not enjoy it. There was a point where, like, the first time I was playing with two people that had played before, and we were in the house, and then they both left the house, and then the ghosty person came at me, and I was like, I panicked. I took a photo in my panic, so I completed the objective that we had to do, but I was like almost screaming as I ran out of the house. And then they all thought it was a fun idea just to, like, every time I went into the house, they'd close the door behind me from the outside and be like, oh my god, you're being hunted, and hold the door shut from their end so that I couldn't get out. Like, it was a lot. It's one of those games that it was fun to play just because again, I enjoyed it because I was playing with my friends. But I absolutely 100% did not have a good time with that game. Oh, and then we started playing Human Fall Flat.
Yeah.
That's a great game.
I played a little bit of Phasmophobia too, and I feel like that game works really well because even though it's super janky, it's still really scary. It does its job well.
I think the jankiness makes it scarier. Hey, thank you for the follow, Fury567. I appreciate you being here.
And Obtuse Dino says Fall Flat is so good.
It is, yeah. And again, like, I initially thought I was just having fun with it because of playing with friends, but then I played it a little bit on my own, and yeah, it wasn't as fun, but it's one of those games that's like so frustrating that you can't not have a good time with it. And obviously Pokemon. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon because I'm very one-dimensional. So would you recommend Pokemon Snap? Like, I never played the original, and all of the reviews that I've seen of it have been, this is a big old nostalgia hit, and like it takes me back to the days of playing the original. As someone who hasn't played the original, do you think that I'd still enjoy it?
I think so, yeah, because I think they do enough with it that it makes it a rewarding experience. Like, it's definitely something that's more casual and relaxing, but I still think it's super fun. And I don't think you really have to know anything, from the original.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, because like I said, I was worried that it was just going to be, like a big cash cow, essentially.
Yeah. Just like a game for the sake of nostalgia rather than... Because the idea behind it it's really cool. And I think that it would do well if they... I feel like it's the kind of game that they would remake to put in VR if Nintendo ever made a VR system.
I didn't even think about that.
Because I think that sort of ambient world game would work quite well in VR, especially like you don't have to move. It's all you are moved around, so you don't have to worry about the movement side of things.
Now, not to sound silly, but didn't Nintendo technically have a VR system? With
the Virtual Boy, yeah.
No, what is it? The cardboard stuff.
Boy? Yeah. Oh, the Labo.
Yes.
With the Switch.
Because they had like a pair of goggles that you could make, and they were like, "Look, you can play Breath of the Wild through these."
But wasn't there there was an old Nintendo system that was actually like
Yes.
a Game Boy that you strapped onto your head.
Yeah, that was the Virtual Boy. And Angry says Labo
Oh,
VR.
man.
Yes.
I forgot about Labo. I genuinely forgot that Labo even existed.
Yep.
Because which company would think it's a good idea to sell flat pack cardboard things for like 80 quid a piece?
Angry also said that Pokemon Snap is a good game.
I definitely want to pick it up. I think. Wait, what date? We're halfway through the month. I could probably afford to buy it this month.
No pressure.
I don't need to wait for payday. I'm gonna buy it. just need to wait for a time where I get enough time on my lunch break to go to the game shop. Which fortunately isn't that far from where I work, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Angry says the Robot Labo was okay. It was something that I'd definitely be willing to try, but I would not really be willing to pay for. I think that's my stance on that.
Yeah, it did seem very kind of... It seemed like a cool idea, but at the same time, I don't know if it was cool enough to justify the money.
Mm-hmm.
VR is one of those things that I really want to get into.
Have you
Like,
gotten to try before?
Yeah, so I've played a very small amount of Beat Saber, and I played a little bit of Super Hot. I think that's what it's called.
Yes, Super Hot.
Game where time stops when you're not moving.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a very, very small amount that I got to play. I enjoyed what I did see. It didn't make me feel motion sick at all, which I know is a big issue for some people. I don't know if that would still be the same case now, because I've been told that I need glasses since then, so I don't know if that makes any difference.
If you have a VR headset, some of them come with prescription, like you can order prescription lenses that you can throw into the headset, so you don't have to wear glasses and then have the headset on top. Yeah.
That's like, do you know, I wish they did that for motorbike helmets, that you could get like prescription, a prescription inlay for the visor.
Mm-hmm.
So my eyesight's not bad enough that I have to wear glasses whilst I'm on the bike. But they help me in my day-to-day, like they help me with my vision, but I don't need them.
Right.
If that makes sense. So most of the time I don't wear them when I'm on my bike, but I feel like I would benefit from wearing them when I'm on my bike.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so uncomfortable that I can't. It's too painful to do.
And Angry says
maybe that is even a thing.
Angry says in terms of VR, it depends on the game with motion sickness.
Okay. I think that the one game that I've heard a lot of people say don't try if you're prone to motion sickness is Skyrim in VR. Especially if you end up getting that bug that means the cart at the start of the game just like flips out of the world.
Gotcha.
That's apparently hellish in VR.
I think a lot of that has to do with it's going to sound silly because it's motion sickness, but the choice of mobility in those games.
Yeah.
I think that's the main problem. Like if you're in a game where you have to walk around a lot or teleport a lot, that might mess you up. Also, Nephilim says Sea of Thieves got me motion sickness, which I kind of want to make a bad pun about, but I will forego that. Because, you're out in the high seas. Getting seasick.
Thank you for the hydrate, the post check, and the stretch, Jay. Oh, I appreciate it. Oh, same to Oblique. Apparently you've got to hydrate, post check, and stretch.
Oh, okay.
I don't actually have any drink here.
You have to go get one.
There's a little bit left.
Oh god, I'm so sorry. Just punched the mic. That doesn't help.
I didn't actually hear it, to be fair.
Oh, good.
I need to get a stand. Oh, what? I need to get a stand like yours for my mic.
Yeah.
Because that looks like a more substantial one than the one I used to have.
I can link it to you. It's nothing super fancy.
So I'm kind of fed up with having mine actually on my desk, because if I like drop something or hit my desk too hard, it comes off very loudly on the mic.
Gotcha.
Which I'm not like a huge fan of.
Nephilim is asking if I've tried G Fuel before. I have not. Is it good? And have you tried it, Perseus?
I haven't tried G Fuel. I've tried similar things to G Fuel. G Fuel is just basically like powdered energy drink that you mix with water rather than buying energy drinks. But I
just drink coffee.
See, I wish I liked coffee.
What about it do you not like?
I don't know. I love the smell.
Mm-hmm.
I love the smell of coffee. I was having this conversation with Bruce earlier today. Like we were literally having this conversation earlier.
He just said sea gray.
I love the smell of coffee. I love the idea of coffee, but every coffee that I've ever tasted has made me want to vomit. Like I just can't stand the taste, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's too bitter or I don't know. Like it's one of those weird things. But Bruce said he's going to try and educate me. He's going to take me somewhere that does good coffee so that I can learn to like it.
Well, I mean, not every coffee flavor is for everyone. Like there are definitely types that I avoid. Like I don't like if things are too nutty or like fruity.
Yeah.
Just something more standard. And there's a lot that you can do with it too. Like I just drink it black most of the time now, but you can do like, cream and sugar to make it sweeter.
I think that's the thing, like I've got to learn to like it. So I think a lot of sugar to start with to kind of get used to it and then cut the sugar back afterwards. But that just seems like so much effort.
So
going
back to VR, Angry says the brain can't comprehend the visual movement and the body not moving. That's what gets people motion sick. Makes sense.
It's the same reason that seasickness is a thing. When you're like inside a boat and you can't see the outside world moving, but your brain can feel it moving. Mm-hmm. It's just like the disparity between what your vision's saying and what your balance center is saying. It's also a similar thing to why vertigo exists. Like your body just your brain can't balance, but your I don't know. It's weird. Like we said earlier, bodies are strange.
Aha. I did not want to skip this question on the list. If you could have just one Pokemon in real life, which one would you choose?
The boy. He's the best boy. Definitely Rowlet.
Okay.
Because he can fly, so I can get around. He's adorable. He's got a tiny bow tie. He's just the best. How about you?
I don't know. The only thing that really comes to mind is Snorlax, but I don't know if he'd fit where I live. I don't know.
I think the cynical person in me would say Meowth, because you can just get infinite money, because Meowth can just generate money. But like Rowlet's just so good.
He is cute.
Enjoy your Lurkitchy. Enjoy your noodles. I hope they're good.
I don't know what I did to this piece. Sorry, go ahead.
There's a few Pokemon that you could go for. Bruce is gonna say Furret because Bruce is weird. But like Rowlet is just simultaneously adorable and useful. Mm-hmm. Like he can fly around places. He can fly you around places. I don't know what else he can do. He's just cute, and I love him very much. So
No, I know what Bruce would want. He'd want a Pancham.
ooh, oh. Brr, 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 brr.
I couldn't help it, Bruce. I'm sorry. Kind of.
It's
It's all in good
apologize to Bruce.
fun. It's all in good fun.
He doesn't deserve the apology.
So Angry is asking, so it's the only Pokemon in existence? Like, it's the only one that you'd be able to keep, right? So if you had the choice of one Pokemon to have in your life, it would either be Snorlax, something big to cuddle with, I guess, and warm. Which that sounds weird, but anyway.
It does. But I get what you mean.
Or Rapidash is pretty cool, as long as
Yeah.
it doesn't burn you when you're riding.
Well, I guess that it canonically doesn't, considering like people in the anime and stuff ride it a lot. Same with Arcanine, like Officer Jenny rides an Arcanine in the opening credits. So
True. I was gonna say otherwise.
you'd have to. Yeah, you'd have to assume it won't burn you, because how are they doing it?
Right. Growlithe too. He's cool.
Growl's pretty great.
Yep.
D11.
Anger said okay,
Which one have I
because
already cut 11 off?
if it was the only one, something that has a fighting chance of not getting captured by the world's governments.
Or you could make a Rowlet look like a real owl.
Yeah. Answer is still Furret. Manageable, fun, friendly, useful, and has the cutest little feet.
Manageable? It's like 7 foot long, dude. Furret's large, man. Like... Pokemon sizes really confuse me.
It is.
Because, like, Furret is insanely big. But then Charizard's only like 6 foot tall.
That is odd.
Ow.
Hey, Big Cass is here. Furret is always the answer. And Angry says, yeah, probably something flying and rideable. Yeah, definitely. And folks, if you're not following Big Cass, please go ahead and give him a follow. He's a huge supporter of this channel and also has a really relaxing stream. Super appreciate you being here. Hope you're doing well.
Where did you go? There. There? What do you mean? What? Huh? Oh, there, okay. I think I said that exact thing with the other leg. Man, legs are confusing. D11, I C28 and C28.
I am also working on legs, but they're probably a lot less complicated.
Well, this is it. It is super weird how these legs are assembled, or how the outer armor for these legs are assembled. Like, there are bits that I would have assumed would be multiple parts that are only one, and bits that I would have assumed are one part that are multiple parts.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really enjoying how it's looking so far.
It looks pretty cool. And like you said, the green.
The green is so eye-catching.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that the sword is mostly made of the same green. Because it is just so... It's just ridiculously vibrant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even on camera, that looks really good.
Yeah. I can't wait to get this kit. I say this literally every time. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to finish this kit. But I'm trying to, it's again like what we were saying earlier. I'm trying to make sure that I'm actually enjoying my time building the kit and not just looking forward to it being over, because building the kit's where the enjoyment comes.
Exactly. And Bruce said Sandshrew would be pretty high up on my list. Absolutely. And David coming in again with a health check.
Yeah, Sandshrew is pretty great. Pause check, a stretch, and a hydrate. Okay, I'm gonna run to the kitchen a second and grab a drink then, because I don't have a drink. So I will be back. I'm gonna keep my headphones on, so I'll still be able to hear, but I'll be back in a moment.
Okay. So I hope everybody's having a good day, and thank you again so much for joining us. Super appreciate it. The bow tie is back. Oh no, you're fine. Yes, this one has little dinosaurs on it. I'll have to show you the pocket square. He'll take anything over Pan-Chan, though. Gotta watch at 160p. What? What, Bruce? What is that face? I think that's what I have found the most surprising about you, Bruce. That was the most surprising thing to learn. Yeah, I couldn't resist, I'm sorry.
There we go. Tiny glass of apple juice. Too late in the evening to get a big drink.
It was beautifully considered and timed, so you appreciate it. I'm glad you can appreciate the burn. So talking about video games too, playing Among Us together was really fun. I'll have to do that again sometime. Yeah, that was good.
That was certainly eventful. I think nobody knowing the map was just, it was just beautiful.
Edric and I have been trying to get people to play Dota. We had like a couple practice rounds a couple weeks ago. Yeah, we have Team Gunpla if you want to join. That goes for anybody else in the chat too. It's just hard because
yeah, I've not played any Dota. Like, I don't really know anything about Dota. It's one of those things that just kind of entirely passed me by.
It's really fun once you get into it.
I still want to try and set up some sort of a Magic game day.
Oh yeah.
Get people to play Magic together. Because I just want to play Magic.
And Angry, you're always welcome. We'll have to figure out some kind of timing. Yes, I have not played Magic in forever, but I would love to try again sometime.
Hell yeah. I want to get as many people into Commander that I know online as possible, and then organize some sort of 4-way Dream Commander game. Because I know that Joe plays, but hasn't played Commander. I know that you've played before. I know that Meg Vandrelli plays or played. There's like, I know a lot of people that, and obviously Edric. Like there's just there's a lot of crossover in the Gundam and Magic community.
Isn't that funny? Angry says that he plays too and he's editing some decks. And Obtuse says Magic the Gathering Arena is fun, but it doesn't have the same feel as playing in person.
Yeah, see, I mainly play Commander, which isn't supported on Arena. it is supported on Magic the Gathering Online, but like that's actually like a money investment to be able to play. When I've invested my money in real life cards, so I can't really invest it again.
Right.
In the digital ones, I have too many Magic cards.
Why can't
It is
they?
a problem.
Why can't they be like Pokemon? Because isn't it when you buy card packs for Pokemon, it has like that QR code you can scan
To get a pack in the digital.
in the game?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they do that for certain things. So you get like codes with the decks that you can buy that you can use on Arena. But where Magic the Gathering Online, I don't think it's actually an official Magic thing. I don't think it's supported by Wizards of the Coast. Whereas Arena is, but Arena is kind of garbage. I don't know how much trouble I would get into with people who play on it for saying that, but like it's not great. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself for a second while I do a quick vacuum because my desk is getting covered in bits.
Okay. Bruce also says, last time I played was the first time I played. 4-way commander with a totally unknown deck. That sounds like quite the challenge. It is, but barely supported. Obtuse, it doesn't have 2v2, so I don't think it's as good as it could be. Really? It doesn't have 2v2? Big Cass says, I'm stoked for the MTG Adventures in the Forgotten Realms this July. It was Gray's fault.
Look, you said you wanted to play Magic. We played Magic. I'm pretty sure you nearly won that game. Yeah, the Magic Adventures in the Forgotten Realms looks... I'm kind of excited for it. Like, we haven't seen anything about it, but it seems like it could be cool. They're basically doing a Dungeons & Dragons themed Magic set.
Ah, okay.
Which will be taking place, essentially confirming that Dungeons & Dragons takes place as part of the Magic multiverse. Because the whole idea behind Magic is that it is just an enormous multitude of universes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting that they're finally confirming that two properties that are owned by the same company that both have multiversal aspects are actually in the same multiversal chunk.
Right. I get what you're saying. That's really neat.
I've nearly finished this leg. Damn. E1415. Now, once I've done this leg, I might swap to building the stand.
Okay.
So that I can get it secure on a stand. So I'm not going to risk knocking it over or anything and damaging it before I finish the kit.
Mm-hmm.
E30.
Having issues with this leg myself, but I'll figure it out.
How's your build coming along? It looks like you've got a decent amount done there.
Yeah, I got torso, waist, both arms, the head, and the feet. Just have to finish up the legs here, and then we can put it together.
T29. Oh, we've been going for 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Hey, my time with HGs is getting better. I take forever.
I think the last HG I built the Try Burning, and that took me like 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a slow ass builder.
Same. When I did that multi-stream where we were all making the same kit, it was terrible because, well, not terrible, but I felt badly because both my friends already finished and I'm like struggling. I'm like, wait, I'm not done. That was lots of fun too.
I think that doing a big old build day with just everybody in a Discord video call, building the same kit would be fun.
Have like Brady Bunch style cam. That's it. Just everybody's faces in little squares.
I know that I'd get super frustrated because I probably wouldn't be able to finish the kit Um, I had to take a break when I was building the Tri-Burning Gundam. I had to take a break halfway through because I was like, I've been going for like 4 hours now, and I need to like go and eat or stand up or do something that isn't sat at my desk.
Right.
I was when I was doing my random bonus Friday daytime streams.
Those are always fun, and I can usually catch a little bit before I go to work.
I'm hoping to do them more often. Now, obviously, work's kind of settling back into a routine of things. So I don't have like there is no like work. There's no shift pattern really where I work. The rota changes every week, but I know that I get 2 days off a week. So if I can kind of get into a habit of doing one of those, having a stream during the day, I think that'd be fun.
Definitely. So in terms of Magic, Big Cass had said, I haven't played in an age, so no idea what to do with the new cards, but we'll probably be getting back in for the D&D Magic the Gathering.
Hell yeah.
And it seems that
yeah,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'd say the current standard sets are significantly more powerful than they've been for a while. The power creep is real. But if you've played Magic in the past, like you'll be able to pick it up pretty quickly.
This polycap just keeps popping out of place. Let's see.
I think polycaps are the bane of a lot of people's existence.
Definitely for me.
See, I can already feel that I'm going to have problems with this kit.
How come?
The leg joints, that is very loose.
Yeah.
I might have to go in and do the old varnish. Well, unless if I'm putting it on a flight stand, there won't be any weight on the waist anyway. So it might survive without. I'd rather not varnish internally on this one because obviously you can see the internals. Oh man. It's another one of those, I've got to make a decision on what I'm doing with the thing, and I don't like making decisions that affect things permanently.
It's very tough. Ah, shoot. So there was a question on my list that I definitely didn't want to miss, because it's very important. So, let's say you baked 2 separate lasagna, right? And you take them out of the oven, and you stack them on top of one another. How many lasagna do you think you'd have?
You'd have one. Be one lasagna, next question. That is the correct answer. Only ever one. Just one lasagna.
It was a very big debate on Perseus's channel, and I still think it's 2. So this is where we differ. This is like one thing where we differ.
One. Why is it 2?
Because you
cooked them
individually. So they each have like a separate, toasty top layer.
When you make a Victoria sponge cake, you cook two separate cakes separately and you stack them on top of each other and it becomes one cake.
Do I look like the type of person that's made a Victoria sponge cake? I'm just kidding.
No, do I look like the type of person who has? I haven't. But like, it's a lasagna. Lasagna is defined as a dish with a minimum of 3 layers, but no maximum layer count. And all it is a repeating pattern of bolognese, bechamel sauce, and lasagna sheets, or like pasta sheets. And like, if you have 2 lasagnas that are both 3 layers and put them on top of each other, you just have a 6-layer lasagna.
No, because the thing is, the top of each one, right, has the final layer. And then, the bottom of the other one is the pasta, so you're not going to have that sauce in between.
No, you don't put pasta on the bottom. You don't put pasta on the bottom.
I haven't cooked one in a long time.
You start with bolognese, because if you start with lasagna sheet, it burns. You have to start with a layer of bolognese.
Okay, that is an important factor. It is. Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
So if you put lasagna, if you take a lasagna and put it on top of another lasagna, you have pasta, and then you have the bolognese, because the bolognese is the bottom of the second lasagna. It's one lasagna. It's one lasagna.
I know.
I got very. I think that was the first time I was reduced to tears on stream.
I'm glad Twitch could break you like that.
I was just laughing so much that I couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't talk. Oh man, that was a good stream.
I was playing Dark Souls at the time, and somebody raided me. I don't remember, but you were there, and you and Cloudy carried on the discussion into my chat, asking me, and I'm like, what?
It might have been Neon. It might have been Neon raiding, maybe.
I don't know.
Or
it was a while ago.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. But like, it's definitely one.
I don't know. It's hard because, here I'm going to sound contradictory, but I see it as two because you cooked it as two separate things, right? And my argument to this is if you made two sandwiches and then stacked them on top of each other, would that be one sandwich or would it just be two?
It would be two.
Right, so what makes a lasagna different? Because people, at least in the States, like with McDonald's, they're like, oh, this is a double pounder whatever,
Yeah.
So it still counts as one.
A sandwich is kind of specifically defined as like a filling between two pieces of bread. You can put a piece of bread inside those pieces of bread as filling. So you could have two sandwiches, open one of the sandwiches, put the other sandwich inside one sandwich, and then you have one sandwich. But having bread against bread makes it two sandwiches. But with lasagna, you don't have... And if a lasagna started with a sheet of pasta, and then you did it that way, yeah, that would be wrong, because you'd have pasta on pasta, then that would be two lasagnas just stacked on top of each other. But it's the fact that there's bolognese at the bottom and pasta at the top, it continues the pattern of lasagna. It's yeah. If you had an open faced sandwich, so a sandwich which had like no top slice of bread, and then you stacked another open faced sandwich on top of it, you would have one thick open faced sandwich. But yeah.
I want to.
Anyway,
if I had the skill, I would want to draw you as a lasagna scientist, like just in a lab coat analyzing a lasagna with a clipboard in hand. Taking notes.
I mean, that sounds great. But that's exactly why that's why I have the lasagna.
I know. And it's great. I love the sound that it makes. And Bruce says, look, the sound alert, yes. Bruce says, look, I'm going to ask this at the next department meeting in the Department of Engineers and Materials Scientists. There we go. There's our...
Oh, but Bruce, you know how much engineers and material scientists overthink things?
I feel like that just got really personal.
I mean, but they do.
I have been struggling with this leg for like the past 20 minutes.
I keep forgetting that my finger hurts and using it to grip things, and then it hurts more.
Have you tried using your brace thingy?
No, I probably should. I just can't be bothered.
And Angry says it is one sandwich, which I think is how they would count it here in the States, at least. Like, a Wendy's double cheeseburger or whatever. I don't know.
But that's not a burger on top. That's not like a So like if you get a double cheeseburger, they're not just putting two cheeseburgers on top of each other. They're either doubling the filling of the burger, or they're putting the burger filling and then a middle slice of bread and then the burger filling.
Right.
Which is still then one sandwich, because there isn't a definitive top and bottom and then a definitive top and bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's Bruce is now saying, "Oh, you haven't overthought this?" ? Like, I mean, accurate. You're right. You're very right, Bruce. With a lasagna, you've got there is no definite end to it. If you stacked two on top of each other, there would be no definite end. So you could theoretically make an infinite lasagna. You could make a Mobius lasagna. Like you could. There are so many things that you could do. That technically would still be classed as one lasagna, because lasagna has no maximum layer count. It has a minimum layer count, then it has to stick to the pattern of bolognese, pasta, bechamel sauce. That's so bad. Anyway,
basically what I'm getting from you is we should all aspire to be like lasagna.
we should.
Bruce
Infinite and tasty.
Bruce says,
Wait.
I wish there was a definite end to the lasagna.
I wish so. Yeah, I mean, no, I wish there was too.
See, the problem with this leg now is I've been fiddling with it so much, I feel like I killed the polycap. Now it just won't work. Yikes. Oh well.
Is it one of those bits where potentially taking the entire thing apart and putting it back together again might help?
I don't believe so. I just can't get it to close very well.
C33. Oh man, that's not a good noise.
Sounded like a little bird chirping.
My nippers are starting to get squeaky. I think I need to oil them. So that's C33. I've nearly finished this leg. Yeah, I think once I've got this leg finished, I'm gonna build the stand. I'll have to find the stand first.
Gotcha. And I'm not sure how long you want it to stay on for. I don't want to, keep you over anything that you usually do.
Ordinarily, I would stream until 11 o'clock on a Sunday, which is another half hour. So if you're happy to go for another half hour, I am happy to go for another half hour.
Absolutely.
F8.
Well, alright.
It definitely doesn't feel like 3.5 hours have passed, though.
No.
F9.
Just having quite the time with this piece, that's all.
So we were both saying this beforehand, like, I always get, in the lead up to doing something like this, I always get really nervous. And I always get kind of like really panicky that it's going to be the worst thing ever and that I'm going to suck and that everyone's going to hate me.
You're terrible.
Basically, my brain just goes, "You garbage." But then, and like I get into my head about it, and I'm like, "Oh, we'll like it's gonna feel like it's dragging because like it's gonna be I'm gonna be so crap and no one's gonna be having a good time because I'm there." Again, stupid things that brain say but aren't real. And then every time without fail I do something like this, I blink and it's been like 3 hours. I just love it. It's so much fun. I love doing co-streams and actually getting to hang out with someone and talk.
Yeah. Because we're in each other's chats a lot, but don't really get a chance to engage like this.
Yeah. Especially since the world's reopened slightly more here and now I can't actually sit in chat and talk to people like where I'm at work a lot more. Especially where you tend to stream sort of lunchtime for me. It's difficult to actually get to hang out anymore.
Yeah.
Which is poop.
I appreciate when you're there, and I appreciate that you made time for this. Uh-oh. Got a bot in the chat. That hasn't happened in a while.
Oh, no.
Get out of here.
That's how you know you're doing well.
Yeah. Hold on.
I'm gonna play a different song and play that song.
Buying followers, I know. Also, Angry had said that sandwich has sandwich filling, but the thing is, it's just on one spot, right? Like, you don't have the bottom bun, the patty, the cheese, and then, like, lettuce, tomato, pickle, whatever, and another bun, and then another bun, I think that's
Yeah.
what you were saying. Be gone, bot.
Yeah,
Yes.
like if you're getting like a double burger, even if there's a separate bread on the inside, you'd have bottom bun, filling, middle bun, filling, top bun. You wouldn't have bottom bun, filling, top bun, bottom bun, filling, top bun.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of like the only way that you can compare the stacking two sandwiches on top of each other to stacking two lasagnas. And like I say, if a lasagna was made in a way of having a layer of pasta on the bottom, which would be wrong, then stacking two on top wouldn't make one. It would still be two, because there would then be an inconsistency in the patterning of the layers.
In my defense, I've only made a lasagna once.
For some reason, I know so many people that think lasagna starts with pasta. I'm like, but the pasta would burn.
I don't know. I think maybe it's because you think it has to have some kind of, like, structural bottom, I guess. But what you say makes sense. Like, it would also get stuck to the pan.
Yeah.
A solid base. Yes.
Solid base.
And I did want to say, like, going back to talking about collaborative streams, I got nervous too, because, you know, I asked you to do this, and I didn't want you to feel obligated or compelled to, and I got nervous too, because I'm like, uh-oh, what if I won't have anything to talk about, or what if my questions are too silly? But it's been great.
No, it's been so much fun. And I really appreciate you, essentially organizing this, because I'm still always, and again, it's something that we were talking about beforehand, like I always still feel a bit kind of starstruck when I'm talking to people that I watch on streams, even if they are my friends. So I'd never think to go, hey, we should do a joint stream, because in my head I'd be going, no, like, you're just like a pleb fan of theirs, like why would they ever want to do anything with you, when I know that's not the case. That's like such a silly thing to think. Just my brain doesn't brain no worky good.
I was gonna say, you're the one who followed me and spread me around.
Oh, I just got a bot appearing.
And came
another
over
one
to visit you.
Oh wow.
Interesting. Maybe it's because the multi-stream? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know anything.
I haven't had one of them in a while. I think there was one stream where I had like 8 in one go, and it was just like, can you not?
Make it stop? But yeah, you introduced me to so many great people. Because when I started doing it, like, I didn't really know who was out there building or how many people were, you know?
Yeah, it's been, there is such a vast community of builders on Twitch that, like, I mean, I only stumbled into this community through Cloudy. So Cloudy was streaming building something. I think it was an SD. Oh, I can't remember what it was, but it was an SD kit. And I hopped in and I was just like, oh, cool, somebody building Gundam. This is my jam. Like, this is the kind of thing that I want to do. And she was talking about, like, she was like, oh, I hope I pronounced your name right. I had this really embarrassing moment the other day where someone called Gunpla Neon came into the stream, and I just started calling him Gunpla because I didn't realize that wasn't, like, that's just the name of the hobby and that his name's Neon. So that's how I found Neon through Cloudy, and then from there found, like, everyone else, like Joe and Atty and Tato and, like, just everyone. And it's just like I I love that I can introduce other people into this absolute mad bunch of, well, utter lunatics.
Well, it's definitely been a
It's
good
always
time.
nice. Yeah, it's nice to have another person who's actually like got that same chill vibe though. Someone else who isn't entirely chaotic.
Thank you. Oh shoot, I think I did this upside down.
That's a big mood.
I was so focused on, because this part doesn't really want to stay together, that I'm like, okay, if I squeeze it tight enough and just squeeze it into this part, that will end my problems. But it doesn't help if you put it upside down.
Oops. That was not. Probably shouldn't be dropping a glass nail file. That probably not going to do it any good. I didn't drop a piece, Bruce. I dropped equipment. Okay, we have 2 finished legs. I'm really happy with that.
Let's see.
That's like,
Very nice.
it's just super cool. I really love, like, because obviously it's clear, it's like super reflective.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've done a pretty good job of getting rid of the nub marks on the clear bits. That's the one thing I always worry about with the clear builds. And having a glass nail file like helps.
Is that something that's very noticeable with clear parts?
Yeah, so you get the stress marks a lot easier because it stresses to just pure white. And it's a more brittle plastic, so that it doesn't cut as nicely. Fortunately, I have a stash of action bases
Nice.
lurking on my chair. I gifted 2 of them for my birthday, so they're going to be used for this kit, and then probably for the Strike Rouge, and then I'm going to buy a slightly more substantial base, I think, for the new Gundam.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's very loose.
I need to cut this piece out of here.
Okay. So let's see if there's any questions I missed. One of the other questions I had was, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Either New Zealand or Japan. I think Japan is relatively obvious reasons, because it's like the home of nerd culture. Well, it's the home of the stuff that I like. So
Right.
Pokemon, Gundam, just a lot of the things that I'm interested in. And also, it'd be nice to experience a culture that is so different. New Zealand, because it's the home of Lord of the Rings, and I'm a mild fan of Lord of the Rings.
Just mild.
Just mild, yeah. And also, it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world. So I think that it would be delightful to visit there. How about yourself?
I'm definitely with you when it comes to Japan. I think that would be excellent to see. I feel like there's so many different areas that offer different things. Like I think, urban Japan and rural Japan would both be really cool to see, like different towns and cities in there. I'd feel compelled to learn the language. I've heard that, people can be very accepting, especially if you're attempting to speak it, but I would still feel like, no, I need to be well versed, which I don't know if that would ever happen.
Yeah, Japanese is one of those languages that I wish I'd learned when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of want to learn now, but it's a lot more difficult to learn languages as you get older, and like I feel like I'm probably at that stage now where it would be nigh on impossible. Do I need this part? No. Okay. Okay. I don't need 9. Do I need 10?
But I like your clear kit too, because I feel like it does a very good job of showing off the frame on the inside, which is not something that you get with every kit.
Yeah. I've done one other clear kit before. I did the master grade Verkar high new in clear, and it wasn't the same as just like a regular master grade, but with clear outer armor. Like they did. It seemed like they'd actually redesigned bits of the inner frame to look good through the clear armor. And with that one, it's not a colored clear; it's just transparent.
Okay.
So you can actually see kind of like the details on the inside. At some point, if I ever get round to painting any kits, I probably want to go through, take all the armor off that, and paint the entire inner frame in metallic colors, and like paint in the details of like the pipes and the bits that are inside there, and make it kind of actually look like it's. Well, I mean, make it look cool.
Yeah.
But equally, again, as we discussed earlier, I'm very lazy when it comes to that kind of thing, and I'd probably start and then be like, nah, we good.
It looks fine. Well, like I said, I feel bad about my MG. Still need to put all those stickers on there.
I think that's why I started doing the stickering as I go approach.
Yeah, I didn't realize, because in the booklet I'm like, seems like we would have found a sticker by now. And then someone was like, hey, it's on a page all in the back. And I was like, oh, no.
So, like, with the real grades, I think real grades probably have more stickers than master grades. Or the same amount, but just on the much smaller surface.
Right.
And I've always said, like, I hate doing the stickers. I hate stickers with a passion. But I really like how they make the kits look. So if I had to do all the stickers for a kit at the end, I would probably end up yeeting the kit across the room. The only way that I can manage to get all of the stickers on a kit is by doing them as I go. Which is why, like, with this kit, the only stickers I'm applying are the ones on the internal frame, like the metallic ones that act as reflectors underneath the armor. The outside stickers I'm not going to do, because you don't need them on the clear armor. Like it's already interesting enough and detailed enough to look at, with the fact that you can just see through to the inner frame. That the stickers would kind of detract from that look. But any other real grade, if I'm not doing the stickers as I go, I'm not going to do the stickers.
Makes sense, because it is a lot to backtrack.
It really is, and it's so difficult. Some of the positioning of them, it's so difficult if you've already got the parts together.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how it is on the one that you're building now, but I know that the master grade, the double O riser that I built, some of the stickers that are on like the core, the armor of the around where the abs are, you just straight up can't get to where they're meant to be once you've assembled the layer above it, and it's just mad.
Just hearing about it, I'm like,
the sticker instructions, like, as you went through and built it, you think they'd have the sticker instructions there with it. I suspect it's where the stickers are optional, they don't put them there. Because not everyone's going to do them.
That's kind of how I felt painting the Evangelion because, I built it and then I was like, okay, let's paint it. And I did not really take too much of that apart to paint it again. So I definitely have to
Yeah.
have a different approach to do, full on paint. I think they call it like a soft build where you like kind of halfway put it together to see where, things go.
You loosely put it together to make sure that everything's done correctly before
Mhm.
you paint it. Because you can fully assemble it, but then you have to take it apart without breaking it.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm using this knife so unsafely. Please, for the love of everything, nobody follow my nobody do what I'm doing. Using a very sharp X-Acto blade pointed directly at your thumb and directly then at your chest is probably not a safe thing to do. I know. Do you use any stands for your kits? Like, have you used any of the action bases?
Yeah, I had one for the first kit that I made, and the master grade that I have actually comes with a stand.
Yeah.
So I want to put it on there. I haven't bought any extra though, which I probably should. It's interesting.
A lot.
Oh, go ahead.
I say a lot of people have like very firm opinions on because there's like 2 different types of action base that you can get for each scale.
Oh, okay.
I use action base. I think it's action base 2.
So what's the main difference?
So these ones are a single stick that it rests on, whereas the other type, and it's like the smaller base. The other type's like a bigger octagonal base, and then the actual bit that it's on could be posed more, so you can kind of. It's like 2 sticks that can then be like pivoted.
Yep, that's the type that I've had.
And these ones like require a couple of screws, and then the other ones don't require any screws. A lot of people don't like these ones just because they're a bit more complicated to put together and harder to pose on, but I don't know, I kind of like them. I think it's just because I've got used to using them.
The action stand that came with the MG Strike Freedom has like a ability so that you can have, this is terrible, I don't know how to describe it, but you know how it has like the wings and then all the pieces that can come undone?
Yeah.
So you can have all of those like on the stand with these clear bits of plastic that you can bend so that it can like
cool.
Go out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Master Grade High Nu has a similar thing. So it's got the Dragoons on the backpack. But it comes with its own stand, which has slots to attach clear sticks that then come out and hold the Dragoons, so it looks like they're in attack mode, I guess. Again, I've not seen the manga, or the anime, so I don't actually know what they're for. I assume they're some kind of weapon, but who knows, to be honest, at this point. They could be for giving really big hugs. You never really know.
So apart from the big sword that one has, what other kind of weapons does it have?
You know what? I don't actually know. It's got a big sword and it's got a big shield. It looks like the sword turns into a gun. But I don't think it actually comes with any other weapons. I don't think it comes with a beam rifle. Oh, it's got a pistol of some sort, by the looks of it. I know that's a bit of the backpack. What?
So that's cool.
No, it's just the sword and the shield.
Hmm.
That's. Oh no, it comes with 4 swords.
Never have too many swords.
Well, I really want to buy a Gundam 7 sword. Just because. So one of my friends that I work with, he gets infuriated by the fact that Gundam have things like wings. Because why would they need wings when they've got rockets on their feet and stuff to be able to fly? Like why does the wing Gundam need angel wings when it could just fly with its like propulsion technology? And why would a Gundam need a sword? Like, I think it's a valid point. I think he definitely has a point. But I was like, but you've seen a Gundam with 1 sword, yes, but how about 7 swords? And he got irrationally angry, and I really enjoyed it. So I kind of want to buy that kit just to annoy him.
Well, I think Joe had said that in terms of the story, there was some kind of energy resource problem, so that was their solution.
So that's why the Astray red frame has the big Chungus sword. But like I'm talking about like things like the beam sabers,
right?
And the like the energy weapons that are designed to be swords. He just kind of has an objection to the fact that like they have guns. They are also giant robots that could just kill you by punching you. Why would sword? And there is no rational answer to that.
Because it's cool.
It just it looks sick. That's the answer.
Obtuse says tradition.
Yeah, probably. And Loopy's just said Pokemon Sword and Shield. Because that's what this kit comes with.
That's what I kept thinking.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the screwdriver is the correct size, or I'm going to have to go find a toolkit.
Can't have a duel without a sword. IBO is the best. Pod says civilized weapons. Yes. So I feel really bad this leg went by like a piece of cake, and I realized what I did. I had the polycap in the wrong way on the other one, so we're just gonna move on.
Oof. Happens to everyone.
Yep.
I've done that. I've done that far too many times. That in there. And that in there. Okay.
So
Then
Bruce had said, swords and other handheld tactile weapons will always have a place in my heart. Very, very little interest in guns. I agree. I think that's why I like playing those action RPGs that are very like melee focused.
Bruce, what if Gundam but bow?
Angry says, they got so advanced in armor, the laser tech stopped working on it, so beating with physical slugs and regular weapons is what works?
Oh. Dropping things.
Bruce would be happy to have a Gundam with a bow. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I think that would be pretty dope.
Oh my goodness, Milk the Cowboy is here. How are you doing?
That is the most excellent username.
Milk likes to visit during Gunpla streams and also does some really cool art that he puts in the Discord.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, but this is Perseuslad. I talk about him all the time, so please give him a follow. He's an excellent Gunpla streamer. The art of Gunpla he's much more experienced with than I. We're doing our first ever collaborative build.
I just dropped a bit on the floor.
Uh-oh. There's a kit bash to sort out, says Bruce. In terms of the bow. That would be pretty cool, actually.
I mean, I think Hawkeye's bow would be the same scale as the 1-100 kits.
It'd be a good Joe question.
So I have I got a new Hawkeye action figure. I say action
Ooh.
figure. It's like it's not an action figure. It's a collectible, high-end person replica thing. For a company called Hot Toys.
Yes.
They're like the ultimate high-end collectibles.
I've heard of them.
And he comes with like a sick bow, and I feel like it would be the correct size for a 1/100 scale kit. So I could try and get that and put it on a Gundam.
Oh shoot.
Oh no.
Pod says Oh, Milk says, I'm good, thanks Perseus for the compliment. For the name. And Pod says, maybe swords with electricity could be more useful. That would be pretty neat.
It's not an action figure, guys, it's a collectible. Yeah, exactly. Bruce, get it? Oh wait, you're being sarcastic. Oh, I see how it is. Okay. Bruce being rude to me like always. I see how it is. I see how it be. What do you mean?
Bruce being rude? I just don't see it.
Oh, that's a weird attachment point. Is that the attachment point? Is that what you mean?
Am I doing drawing requests this stream? We haven't had any. I can, but I think we're going to end in a few minutes. I am going to be streaming Tuesday, though.
I don't know if I like that attachment point.
So if you're able to make it to that, Milk, I could definitely draw something for you.
There we go. So now we've got him on the stand. It means that I can't knock him over.
Nice.
Enhance during the week. There we go.
Very cool. All right. Well, let me try to.
I'm super happy with that so far.
It is very cool. Like I said, I like how the clear plastic shows so much of the inner frame. Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself for a moment whilst I do a cheeky vacuum again.
Okay, so I'm going to hurriedly put this together, that way we can at least see what it's gonna look like. Yes, and Milk, I hope you can make it. That'd be fun. Oops. And how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Now I see why you mute. We caught the tail end of that.
Yeah, it's a little bit loud.
It was fine. It's funny.
I know that there's a way to get my computer to be clever enough not to pick it up, but I'm not clever enough to make my computer clever enough to not pick it up, if that makes any logical sense.
I'm sure we can figure out a way. Alright, this is gonna look cool, because this is a pretty classic Gundam. Hold on. And I know that because it's in, like, episode 2 of the original series. You're good? Really enjoying Tokyo Revengers? Yes. Tokyo Revengers is, like, my highlight of this, anime season. It is great. So, Perseus, that's a new anime for you to watch for sure. Alright, here's
Tokyo
what we have.
Revengers?
Yes. Look at that.
That looks cool.
Yeah, I like it. I like
that looks a lot more detailed than a high grade. That looks almost like a real grade.
Right, there's a lot that could be panel lined here, and I like the different shades of red too. And of course, the eye can move, so that's cool. Like you could pose it inside, or maybe you could slide it. I don't know. I'd have to see. Yeah, pretty neat. Isn't Tokyo Revengers supposed to be getting a live action at some point? I'm not sure. I don't usually watch live action adaptations. I think one
You
that
know
I'd
what
be
is
willing to
any
do
live
would be House Husband. What's that?
There's a Gundam Build Fighters live
Oh,
action
that would be fun to
coming
watch.
soon. Yeah. And they're re-releasing or they're releasing new versions of some kits that are featured in it, I think.
Neat.
Which seems pretty dope. Ah, I forgot my pen away. No.
Well, with Fighters or whatever we watched, the first episode had a kit that I actually made, so I was like screaming at the TV. I'm like, look, I made that! And then it got blasted to bits.
Yeah, Build Fighters is so fun.
Yeah. But in terms of Tokyo Revengers, basically the plot to it is I think he's like 28 or something like that. He's really unsatisfied with his life, like his job and how things are going. And he gets pushed in front of a train. When he gets pushed in front of a train, he's back to like 12 years ago or so when he's in middle school. And it's like a murder mystery / like time travel, have to alter the past to change the future kind of thing. Similar to Steins Gate, I'd say. It's good.
Steins Gate's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that I've watched a few episodes of, but I didn't get super far into it.
Mm-hmm. And Milk also says Fumetsu no Anata E is good. I have to write that down. Because I'm not sure what that is. Oh, I think my phone died. Yep.
I'm just waiting for more episodes of Food Wars to come out.
Ah.
Because Food Wars is
Oh,
just good.
Sorry, To Your Eternity, yes. That is very good too. It makes me cry. It's a very sad anime.
There was another one that I've been watching, and I can't remember what it is.
Angry, my train-based media. What are you talking about? What else have I recommended that has trains in it? I'm not obsessed with trains, I swear. They're pretty cool.
Well, there's the Infinite thing.
Oh, Infinity Train. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
You're right. Angry.
Alternate train-based media.
Oh. Well, Perseus, it's been super fun to have you today. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Fun.
Yeah.
We should do this again.
It's just nice to chat. Talk about stuff. Who should we raid?
Well, my normal thing on a Sunday is that I raid Joe, because Joe's always streaming when I finish.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Joe's in the middle of fixing up his Tequila Gundam. Dokudel is also online and building.
Mm-hmm.
He's building some Warhammer.
Gotcha. So, Angry, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And again, folks, if you're not following Angry, please do. He's also an excellent Gunpla builder. And Milk, thank you for stopping by. I hope that I get to see you Tuesday evening as usual, which would be really nice. And Bruce says, I've got recipes for lots of the stuff from Food Wars that you're desperate to try. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the Food Wars recipes look so good. Should we do a joint raid on Joe?
I would love that.
Hell yeah.
Because Joe is wonderful.
I will get mine going.
Mine is ready.